3, 2, 1.
Hello all, and welcome back to the Invictus stream. I'm here with my very attractive friend Chris, and my also attractive friend Justin. Also doesn't mean you're less. It just means I decided to...
But I took it that way, okay?
You can take it any way you want, but that's not how I meant it.
You know
We're back, apart from our regular scheduled programming of Dragon Age, or aside from it, to play another exciting episode of The End of the World.
Whoa!
Zombie Apocalypse. Excited?
Very.
As you should be. I'm going to kill you. Oh, I did this last time too.
I've never been so excited about the end of the world.
That's the only way to react. So, for those who are watching for the first time, thank you for joining us. Again, we are the Invictus stream. We stream games every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. They are exciting and sexy sometimes. And most of the times we do Dragon Age, who Justin GMs very sexily. But Mike couldn't be with us tonight, so we're deciding to do another zombie one-shot. Now, this game is part of the core rulebook set of 4 by Fantasy Flight Games, and I think they're releasing Wrath of the Gods later this quarter, and this was the first one they released, and it's fun, and I think we've done 2 other scenarios so far. And basically, each scenario is a new zombie type. So the first time we played this was off-stream, and it was like a meteor crashes to Earth, and the zombies come back from the grave, right?
Yep. Well, anything that's dead came back.
Yeah, it was like possessed spirits and stuff like that, putting in the body something. The second one was classic George Romero zombies. The dead walk the earth. When you get bit, you dead. Tonight, we are in for a tale of terror unlike any before. So hold on to your butts. As my good friend Sam Jackson would say. Right?
Right.
Jurassic Park.
Exactly. All right, so quickly I'm going to go over the dice rolling rules again, and we'll quickly go over the character sheets just to give you people watching an idea of how the game works and to remind ourselves, because I don't really remember. What I do remember is that this game uses a set number of D6s, of positive and negative die. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask these guys to roll a set number of D6s to put up the positive dice pool. For example, I'm going to roll 3 on my screen right now. A 2, a 2, and a 1, which I'm going to circle. Oops. Boing, boing, boing. And then roll another number of negative dice, which will then add to that pool. In this case, we're going to say it's 2. And the positive and negative cancel out at that point, so if I had rolled a 2, it would cancel out one of these 2s, and it would leave me with a 2, a 1, and a 3. And the idea is that you want your positive die to be lower than the attributes that you have on your character sheet. And Justin, why don't you screen share one of your character sheets, because I do not have it up right now.
Well, I can't really screen share because I've got it printed at the moment.
Okay, I have... You know what? I have Chris's up. Here. Perfect. Okay, so this is, again, the character sheets. And, for example, in that last roll, had Chris been rolling those, and had he been rolling for dexterity or vitality, he would succeed, because they were both the 2s and the 1s were under 3. So in that case, actually, he would have had 3 successes. And other than that, that's pretty much how the dice mechanic works.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think there's much more to it.
Yeah.
But you get to you assign how many
Yes.
how many you need to roll.
Or, you know, if you guys are really fair, you might be like, well, maybe I should get a negative die here, because no one needs any more help in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, because it's not hard enough.
Now, the other part of this game that's really fun is that these characters play themselves, meaning that their weaknesses and their positive traits and everything that they have is as close to life as we can get without being offensive to every single person. So, for example, under his physical traits, yeah, we're going to use Chris as the guinea pig, he has a weak stomach. And as we all know...
I'm a puker.
Yeah, you wouldn't like the lasagna I'm eating right now.
No.
No.
I wouldn't make it through it. I would smell it, and that'd be the end of my game. I would take a stress ball.
Look at it. Look at that.
Oh!
Sorry, Chris.
Is that homemade?
Oh.
Well, yeah, but I didn't have to do much. I just had to put it in the oven
Ah,
to make it.
home baked.
Exactly.
And then the other thing is, once you fail a test or have a number of negatives to your roll, you fill out these little stress points. And if you fill 3, and again it works 1, 2, 3 go in severity. So for example, let's say Chris was rolling something and he failed it and got a negative die, he would fill out one of these. At 3, he would be able to write down a resistance to something so that he would not need to roll for that in the future. For example, Chris, give us an example of what that might be.
Okay, let's say that I've had enough interaction with poison, a certain type of poison. Let's just say it's raw chicken, because raw chicken is poisonous. After eating it a certain amount of time, because of the weak stomach, I would get a certain amount of stress points because I'm bad at rolling at it. And then I could say I've grown tolerant of it, a little bit less of a weak stomach. So next time I roll for it, I would have an advantage almost.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think you'd be able to take stress from it going forward again. So it's kind of cool. It lets you build up a resistance to certain things that are going to be dangerous in the zombie apocalypse, just like real life, how you build up resistances. Okay, so we've gone over the dice mechanics again. We've gone over a little bit of the character sheets, and I think that is all we needed to go over. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I am.
Are you guys ready? I was looking for a little more like emphasis.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the
I
audience.
thought you were talking about the viewers.
No,
Yes.
Are you guys ready? I can hear you. Perfect. All right. Okay, so here we go. Zombie Apocalypse: The End of the World by Fantasy Flight Games RPG. Zombie Apocalypse Game 2. It's around 5 o'clock. Dun, dun, dun. So after a fair drive, the two of you, along with myself, my wife, and Chris, your wife, who will remain nameless, but also mainless, roll up to a hotel in Kingston, Ontario. We, of course, live in Ontario. My brother has invited us all out here to attend his wedding. That's right. It's a wedding. The wedding being taking place on the beautiful St. Lawrence College campus gardens.
And is the wedding the same night?
No, it's actually the next night. So, good night to relax and prepare for whatever might come.
Relax. No way.
Well, that's kind of the idea, because as we arrive, we unload our stuff into the motel, and immediately my wife and I are called upon to help with last-minute preparations for the wedding, unfortunately. And Zara, I mean your wife, whose name is not Zara, graciously offers her help at our request to come and join us, leaving you two to do nothing. So you sit around the hotel for a little bit, and after playing with yourselves, like word games.
No.
Word games. I mean, like
With
playing
each other.
Yeah,
I mean,
playing with each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You,
I brought some whiskey. Sorry.
Yes. Okay. So you take a few drinks, get ripe.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's what, Friday night?
It's a Friday night. Yeah.
I wouldn't not have whiskey or something.
Fair enough. So you guys sit around a little bit, have a little bit of the sauce, and then you head down to the front lobby of the hotel and leaf through a little pamphlet, see if there's something that strikes your interest. And leafing through the brochure is something that catches your eye, Justin, and it's something that we've done on multiple occasions, and it says escape.
Oh, nice.
And it's an escape room. This is one of those rooms that they lock you in, and you have to solve a series of puzzles to try to get out of the room. And Chris kind of snatches it out of your hand and reads it, and notices something a little different. It says escape from Kingston Penitentiary.
Whoa.
So Kingston Penitentiary is a real prison that closed in 2013. It was an active prison for, I think, since the 1900s. It was a huge prison, but now it's kind of reserved for tours. And in this case, it seems like some sort of cooperation with maybe the government or whoever let them lease a part of the building to have an escape in it. You guys look at each other and say, "Well, what would you say?"
This is happening.
Right. So, after a quick text to your wife to make sure it's okay, and the begrudging text from me saying, yeah, whatever, go without me, the two of you decide to bus it. We took the car, obviously, or walk. I mean, it's not really that far. Over to Kingston Penitentiary. So at this point, after your drinks, it's a little later. I'd say it's maybe like 7 o'clock, and the tour starts just around 7:38, so it's perfect, or rather the escape it. But tour's not too far off base because as you arrive, there's a man standing behind a kiosk addressing a large group, and he's sitting there and he says, and he's kind of talking to a few people out of this large group. He says, and at which point we lock you in the cell. And you guys have 45 minutes to get out. Questions? And he kind of is just addressing the crowd as you guys kind of walk up from the back.
Are any people in the crowd asking questions?
No, they're kind of looking nervously at each other. Judge, what you're looking at the crowd is it looks like a lot of people not paying attention. I'd say if the crowd's sizable, maybe 40 people or so, you guesstimate oh, great word, 25 plus-ish to maybe 30 people are kind of just standing around, maybe not really paying attention to what this guy's saying.
So we just walked in and this is what we saw.
Yeah.
So, is there a front desk or anything?
Yeah, this is like outside because at this point we're going to say it's like June or July. And it's kind of like a home brew kiosk out front near the parking lot before anything within the penitentiary.
All right, so I walk up and I say, hi, we'd like to escape it tonight from the penitentiary.
And he says, excellent, good, 2 more for escape it, Priscilla. And he says, okay, that's $30.
Okay.
Each.
Yo, okay. No
Cool.
problem. I got this, Chris. You got the cruise. I don't know how we got back from that.
That was rough, eh?
That was crazy. Hope nothing like that ever happens again to us.
So he takes your money and he says, all right, cool. And he hands you 2 like liability waivers. He says, fill these out. I'll be back in 2 minutes. You guys have any question? My name is Mitch. Priscilla here as well. I'm just going to go talk to the tour group.
Okay.
I talked to Justin and I go, I hope I'm not in the group with the rest of the tour. I hope it's just us. Because I'm going to be really fun with the rest of the people.
Yeah,
So
that's what
a young woman wearing a T-shirt that says "Escape Kingston Pen" kind of overhears you and walks over, and she kind of says, "No, what they do is they do 2 separate things." And she points to maybe 10 to 15 of you, and she goes, "You guys are with me with the escape rooms. That group," pointing to the majority, she says, "they're with the tour. There's like a ghost tour that goes on over the night at Kingston Pen as well."
Cool. I'm just curious, is there a timer for this? How does it work? Because I've done this type of thing before, but do we have a certain amount of time to escape, or?
Yeah, so it's 45 minutes, and we lock you in the cell, and there's a large clock on the outside that you can see with the bars. And yeah, I mean, you guys have 45 minutes to get out, and there's a few puzzles in there and things like that. And obviously, if you need help, you get 1 hint. But other than that, it's pretty fun. It's a little spooky too.
Yeah. I feel pretty confident. We'll be able to get out.
Excellent. So she kind of says perfect, and she takes your waivers from you, or whatever they would be called, release forms or whatever, and she kind of looks them over and says, okay, perfect. Justin and Chris, excellent. Yeah, just go wait over there with those guys, and it's going to be about 15 minutes at 8 o'clock. We will wait for any stragglers, and then we're going to head in. And she kind of leaves. So you guys kind of nervously saunter around the crowd. Do you want to talk to anyone, look them over, what?
Well, yeah, who are we around?
Okay, so you're looking around, and there's probably about 10 people who are waiting around the area that she asked you to wait, being the Escape It group.
And they're going to be locked in there with us?
Yes. Well, again, from what
Different spells.
Exactly.
So I go up to one of them and I said, have you done this before?
So you go up to like a 40-ish-year-old man, and he's kind of wiry looking, a little strained looking, and he kind of just looks at you for a second. Yeah, I have. They have a few downtown Toronto, which is where I'm from.
Oh, we're just outside of Toronto. Yeah,
That's
we've
all.
done.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we've done one before, and it wasn't too hard. This looks like it's a little upper scale though, so it should be good.
Yeah,
we do a lot of these together.
That's so cool. I'm super into the idea. I'm Rick, by the way, and he holds out a hand.
I shake it and say, my name's Chris, this is Justin.
Cool. He's like, I don't really know anyone else here. I'm with my brother in town, and he's with some girls. So he kind of said, figure out something to do. And I thought, what the hell? I could probably get out of a room on my own. Maybe not. I don't know.
You're by yourself.
Yeah.
Is that how you like to do it? Because Justin, if you want, we can invite this guy with us.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Actually, yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'm put it this way. I'm not against trying it on my own, but ideally I wouldn't want to. So you said you guys are... I'd happily join you. So you guys said you're from around Toronto? Whereabouts?
We're just in... well, actually, I'm from Pickering. Justin lives in Barrie.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. We're up here for a wedding. We're just over at the hotel nearby.
Oh, that's very cool. Oh, that's weird. I mean, not really. We're all from Ontario, but it just seems weird. I'm near there, but... I gotta say, this place is creeping out.
Am I getting this guy's kind of like sketchy? He looks like he's twitching a little bit, or is he?
Do you have to roll for that? I forget what do you have to roll for? Only challenge per? No, I guess. Well, there's no. What?
There's no perception.
Social. It's gonna be social. I'm gonna get.
Yeah. No, I don't think you have to. No, you're not. You don't have to roll for it. I guess you just.
It seems like a lonely.
If anything, it's empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say because you're not trying to push beyond anything, then you don't have to roll. And basically, what was your question?
I just want to know. I'm going to be locked in the room with a guy for 45 minutes. Did I just invite like an axe murderer into the room with me, or does he look like he's pretty normal?
No, I mean he looks pretty normal. Like I said, he's a little wiry. He's a little hyper, but that could be easily excused as nerves.
And me and Justin are a little buzzed anyways, so. Chances are we're like, yeah, whatever, let's invite this guy.
Yeah, no, there's nothing crazy about him. He seems like a pretty normal guy. However, you do notice that as you're talking to him, every once in a while, he'll kind of just wait a beat or two before he answers. Just
okay, so he takes a while to think.
Yeah, but also, basically, every time you ask him a question, he'll just wait a beat and then and then answer.
Okay.
So, and again, looking through the crowd, there's a few older women. There's a young girl, maybe about 7 to 13, anywhere within there, maybe about 10 years old would be the average. There's an older guy who looks to be maybe over 60. There looks to be maybe a husband and wife, and then there's like 3 or 4 young kids that look to be 18 and around that age, and they're kind of chatting with each other and on their phone like kids do.
Yeah, Instagramming it.
Yeah.
Is the old man alone? Is anybody out of them alone, or?
The only other person that might be alone, yeah, you could guess, would be... actually, no. Everyone's paired up. Everyone is talking to someone else, so it's kind of hard to decipher who would be with who, and I can tell you who's with who if you're curious. The old man specifically?
Yeah, the old man.
I
thought he was on his own. He's like some guy in a professor's suit.
No, he's wearing like a windbreaker and thick glasses. He's wearing like a poor boy hat, and he's talking to the mother and the young 10-year-old-ish.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they could be together. Who knows? So, Rick kind of, glances around and kind of says diverse group. And as he says that, Priscilla walks over and says, okay, guys, so... What?
Oh, it just was like a touch of racism just there?
It's like diverse. There's an old person, we got a black person, we got a kid.
A lot of them, here. No, she walks over and says, all right, guys, we're ready to go in. And the tour group's starting to move already in. Mitch, the other man, already addressed them. And she says, so Mitch is going to be taking the tour group around. I'm going to be taking you guys around. Again, my name is Priscilla. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Follow me. We're going to take you to the cell block. And she turns around and starts walking through the gates.
Nice.
So, the gates of Kingston Penitentiary are big and big.
Majestic.
And majestic. There's torches and it says Jurassic Park written over it.
Nice.
No, but they're typical prison cliche gates. For those watching and for you guys, 2 quick notes for those watching. You can tweet us live at @InvictusStream for suggestions, tips, whatever you'd like. Please do not hesitate to tweet us. We're always watching that. And for you guys, as well as viewers, feel free to Google Kingston Penitentiary, because we're using an actual place. If you want to know anything about it, if you want to know pictures of it and have an idea, all of that is fair game. There is nothing that that's going to be. Now, that being said, if I might say something incorrectly, in which case it's going to be my rule, because ultimately it's just going to be a guess. But to show you, this is what Kingston Penitentiary looks like from the sky. And it is...
Oh, like man, Dustin, if shit goes down, I'm going to the museum and trying to steal the crossbow. Somebody made up a crossbow. It's amazing.
Awesome. Is there a crossbow in the actual museum?
If you go, to the images of the museum.
Of the actual web?
Pretty awesome.
Museum of Kingston Penitentiary, or is it Kingston Penitentiary itself?
If you Google Kingston Penitentiary Museum, there's a picture of like shibs.
Yeah.
Shanks and stuff. And then one of them has, if you go to the museum, all the other pictures, there's one that's a crossbow that someone clearly made. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. But see, the museum is different than the penitentiary itself.
Okay.
Because I remember looking. I wanted to make sure there were no crossbows. Nah, I'm just kidding. But they are two separate, so no crossbow for you. All right, so
see how it's made, so I can do it.
You guys walk into the large open area of the prison, and you see very typical prison. You see a series of buildings surrounding the large wall which surrounds the prison. And you see grassy hills, rusted equipment where they would work out. And Priscilla kind of motions to the grounds and say, "This is it." And the large gate clangs behind you as you walk through.
Okay, so we've got to get out of the whole prison?
No, she says, no, nothing like that. She kind of stops for a second. She says, what we're going to do, for anyone not clear, and she says, oh, this might help. And she hands you and Chris leaflets after she realizes that everyone else has a leaflet. She says, forgot to hand you guys. Sorry. And you can read the leaflet now, or you can wait. I can tell you what's on after.
I'll flip through it.
It's nothing.
I guess it's pretty dark, eh?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's 7-ish now, or now it's 8 o'clock. So yeah, it might be dark, but there are prison lights kind of all over the compound. It looks like a functional prison. Again, it only closed in 2013, so it's not crazy destroyed or anything like that. But looking through the leaflet, you see that it's got some random bits of information that would be found on the Wikipedia page for Kingston Penitentiary. It also has a contact number in case of emergencies, and it has a picture like the picture I just showed you, and a few odds and sods of pictures inside the prison. Nothing overly useful. It just kind of says, oh, actually, I think I actually drew up a thing. Oh, no, I didn't. Anyway, so basically, yeah, it's just kind of basic information. She says, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking you guys over to the cell block. And what I'm going to do is we're going to introduce you to the warden, and we're going to put you into cells teaming off how you would like. And as she says that, Rick kind of stands up next to you guys and kind of just does a non as awkward nod as I just did to you, just kind of a...
Yeah.
Not one of those. Something that a human would do and not me.
Okay. No.
But he does that to you. And and she says, and then you guys have 45 minutes to escape. And she looks at you, Justin, and says, does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's basically it. So we're all going to be in the... Okay, wait. So we're going to be stuck in the cells, and there's going to be different things in each of the cells. All the cells are going to be unique to how to get out, or is there just one key and we need to let everybody out? Like, do we have to strangle a guard and get his key or something?
No, nothing like that. And she, again, addresses everybody. So she says, so each of the cells have been retrofitted to have a key that will open them from the inside. Obviously, older cells didn't work like that, because if they did, you'd probably get a lot of escaped convicts. And you hear like that old guy laugh, and she goes, "Thank you." And basically, what we're doing is you're going to be in charge of your own cell. In your cell will be decorations from when the prisoners might have lived there, and what you're going to have to do is find pieces of things to solve codes that within the cell will find you the key again in the cell to unlock your prison, to unlock your actual cage. Once you get out, you've won the game. The only thing that we do here is we do a little bit of a competition. While each cell is roughly the same, there are varying degrees, which we will allow you to choose once we get into the cell block. But basically, the first one out gets gloating rights. And again, that old man laughs.
I look at Justin.
Down, man.
What'd you say? You look at Justin and what?
I nod competitively if we're going to win this.
And
I shake my head nervously.
and Rick kind of goes, we got this. And she goes, good. Any more questions? And then the old man from the back kind of goes, yes. Quick question. Is the gate locked behind us? And he kind of lets out a half. Did you lock us in here? And she goes, no. The locks for the main prison are always unlocked. And in case of extreme emergencies, there is a spare key right next to the door, and looking, you see there's about a red box about yay size. That we keep a spare key in to make sure that anyone can get out of the prison at any point. Obviously, prisons can be a very touchy place. Some people might be here for the first time. Some of you might be coming back. Again, the old man. And we want to make sure that everyone is as comfortable as possible should you get a little worried. And of course, the same goes for when we actually put you in the cells. We always stick a spare key on the back of the door. Should you want to get out in a hurry, you can always grab it and unlock your cage. Any other questions?
Are there any hints?
Yes, I can walk around if you call me, and I will give you each one hint. But again, other than that, I've gotten out of all the cages myself personally, so they're not too tough.
Okay.
All right, and she continues walking forward and motions you. And again, the old man kind of scurries up beside her and kind of asks a few questions, and you can see her kind of pointing off at a few locations. And Rick, kind of walking beside you guys, goes, It's kind of nerve-wracking to be in here, eh?
It's nerve-wracking when I've done the regular ones that aren't in a prison.
I just find the scenario, I mean, the whole aesthetics of this place really cool. When I read it, I couldn't believe it. I was kind of like, how the hell are they doing that in a prison? But
yeah, it's kind of crazy, eh? Are there any like guard towers around?
Yeah, 4 guard towers on the 4 corners again.
I was looking through the leaflet, and actually 26 people have actually escaped from the actual penitentiary.
Oh yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
How did they do it? Maybe instead of letting people know that we've escaped, we should just try to escape the prison completely.
And that's Rick laughing. Yeah, maybe once we get out of our cells, we should try to get out of the cell block and then try to break out.
Yeah, exactly.
And he pulls out his phone and he Googles it and he actually says, yeah, and it actually says there's a few guys who got out of here, a few inmates. The last guy was in 1999. That's kind of cool.
1999?
1999. Well, it was a prison until 2013.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, that seems like such a current time. Like, I don't think about breaking out of prison at now.
Oh, and Chris, not to correct you, but it says in the pamphlet that there's been 26 escape attempts, but only 2 people have ever gotten out.
Oh, you're right. Fair enough. Thank you. What's his name again?
Rick.
Thanks, Rick. You're right.
So you kind of say, yeah, you're right, and he goes, yeah. Anyway, so you guys continue walking, and you arrive at the cell block doors, and Priscilla kind of stops, and she grabs a key from something and unlocks it, and she goes, that's more for show than anything else, opens it up, and inside you see a dimly lit small room with a, I will show you. I drew it out using my own hand. So you walked in through these doors, and standing right where my hand is, and standing right where my hand is a man in a maintenance jumper and a woman dressed sort of like a warden. And she leads you in, Priscilla does, and she tells you all to kind of stand here next to what this looks like a glass enclosed kind of area, most likely for where the guard sat when the prison was functional. And she says, yeah, everyone over here. And she says, our warden is going to talk to us for a quick second and give you guys the breakdown. And the old man's kind of right up front, waiting to be heard, because he's got information about everything, probably. So, you guys are looking at the man and the woman. The man in the maintenance jumper kind of gives you a polite nod, and he scans the crowd. He kind of stops on one person, looking a little puzzled, and kind of raises an eyebrow. And you can't see it. Someone behind you. There's a few people behind you. There's the mother, daughter. There's another woman, and what you presume is her husband. So it could be any five of them.
Yep. Okay.
So the woman steps up and kind of takes off her hat and says, "Hello all. My name is Alicia, and while this is an inactive prison, it still needs to be maintained and run as a complex for tours and things of this nature. So I am acting groundskeeper, aka warden." And again, the old man. Pretty much just add that old man laugh every time anyone makes a really lame pun or even slight joke.
That could be possibly.
Just think your dad. No, I'm just kidding.
My dad? My dad?
No, my dad would be the kind of guy. What would my dad do? My dad would be the kind of guy.
He'd have Wikipedia open and
he
saying,
would.
Actually, Priscilla.
No, he wouldn't be correcting. He'd be standing there being like, and he'd be like listening, be like, Your dad would be the one who'd be like telling stories, be like, speaking of prisons.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And Chris's dad would be the cool one.
Yeah.
So anyway, she says, I am sort of warden for these grounds. Again, we need to make sure that they're maintained, and through the city, we make sure that they're up and running. And the city has leased a little bit of a deal with these guys to make sure that you guys have a great experience. Speaking of, this little experience you're about to have, again, is meant to only be fun. And I want you guys to know, that if any point any of you should feel extremely uncomfortable, there is a key stuck on the back of each cell door that can simply open the door. Or you can contact one of the guides, Priscilla, here with you. Again, Mitch might be coming in through here with the tour. There's also Randy, the maintenance guy, or myself. You can contact any of us. We're always going to be here watching, and we will let you out. We all have keys for them.
So knowing myself pretty well,
yeah,
I feel like at this point, when they should be explaining this, because I had already heard this, I'd be kind of distracted. And I'd be kind of looking around, trying to figure out, if I needed to escape, how I could get out of even this area. Because I'm like, for some reason, part of my brain would be like, okay, maybe this is all part of the thing anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to escape this, and they haven't told us that, and it's kind of like a bonus fun part.
Okay.
So I'm looking.
Yeah, no problem. So again, you're standing in this room, and you're kind of looking into this guard room, and you see it's vacant. There's a chair in there. There are monitors and things like that, but they seem to be turned off.
Right.
There is a desk lamp that is turned in there, and some papers strewn about. So most likely the warden was sitting there waiting. Over here, there are some empty lockers. And these double doors are open, and you can see while you kind of look in through the angle you're standing on that there are a number of cells lined up here on the bottom. You also do see that there is another layer of cells on top of these,
right?
And they kind of just go off, and that's about all you can see right now. In this room, these are the only doors that you can see that leave.
Cool. Now, I'm picturing this thing that it's kind of like they're really trying to get the atmosphere of the cell. Are they making people leave their possessions and things, make sure we're not carrying anything in?
Are you asking this, or are you?
I'm asking you. I'm saying, like, are they really trying to get the feel, like making us wear jumpsuits, or is it just basically what we have on?
She hasn't finished her thought yet, Chris.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And she's, maybe you should wait till I finish my stories. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not that kind of thing. You can see they're not taking anything from anyone, and if you say something, maybe you say that to Justin. You say you think they're going to take her from her, and she overhears because she's great at hearing. She says, "No, of course we would never do that. A lot of people have personal items that they're uncomfortable with leaving with, and we don't want to make you guys feel like prisoners, because of course you're not. And some people have asthma inhalers and things like that. So no, of course." Mister, we would not do that. So, what else? And she looks over a card, and she just says, make sure nothing else. Oh, I know this. And she says, excellent. So again, as I said, my name is Alicia, but for the purposes of the next hour or so, I want you all to call me Warden Carlotta. Because that's who I am, she says with a smile. So, Priscilla kind of stands out in front of them and says, excellent, all right, any last-minute questions?
Is there a T-Rex?
Is there a T-Rex? No, sir,
Here.
No T-Rex.
Okay.
Is
I don't
there
know why.
any-
I had to ask that for some reason.
That's okay. There's no problem. Went over my head a little bit there. Any other questions? No? Okay. So she leads you to. I don't get. What was the point of that joke? I don't get it.
Aside, Jason Randall
Jason Rand.
posted, "Is there a T-Rex?"
Oh.
Probably
Because
from
of
the,
Jurassic Park
Oh,
from
okay.
much earlier. But
So
I just saw it now,
confused.
and it was like 14 minutes ago, and I'm like, I gotta bring this in now. It was perfect timing.
Oh, fair enough. I was like, I don't. She doesn't get the
it
joke.
would have been perfect.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. No T-Rex. I would bet he's watching on a delay, is my guess. He's probably not watching it live. He's watching a little bit behind. So that's fine. So you might not be. He won't give you the immediate advice you need, which is perfect. Okay, so Priscilla says, okay, so no more questions, and she leads you to the next room, and the next room opens up to see the cells as described, and as you walk past, you do see there are a set of stairs to the immediate right of the door attached to the guard room. There is a door underneath the stairs right about here, and the stairs go up and they kind of latch around to another set of cells up here, and as you enter the room you see that there is no other way to leave this room. There is only one door in, one door out.
Okay.
Typical prison, probably. I can't imagine they'd want too many ways in and out of a cell block.
So
Just
sorry,
guessing.
just to specify, the stairs go up.
Yeah,
We walk in the door. There's a set of stairs to our right that are going up
exactly. Behind you.
behind me, and
Yeah.
then that leads to another platform where there are more cells.
Yes. Well, actually, as you walk in and turn around, you see that the stairs lead up to, again, that small little ledge. But while there are cells above the other cells to your left, behind you is actually another guard box that looks like it looks down over. It actually follows up the tower. So again, to screen share, essentially what you're looking at is this tower goes right to the roof, essentially.
Mhm.
So it looks at both layers, the top and the bottom. And then over here is kind of just a food table or something like that, like right around here. And then the cells continue over here with a walkway above where you are right now. So
Cool.
tower, other than that, doesn't seem to be too much. Okie day?
Yep.
So the warden walks up the stairs, and she stands next to a large kind of flip switch. And there is one large flip switch, and there are a number of smaller ones that are attached to each cell. And Priscilla, kind of in her best acting voice, says, "All right, let's pair y'all up. Which one? Who's going with whom?" And you see that the young girl, the 10-year-old, the mother, the old man, and the couple flock together. The Rick obviously stands next to you.
Mhm.
I'll need to mark these down too, so I don't forget. So what did I say? I said the husband, the wife, the daughter, the mother, and the old man are
Mhm.
together. Rick
4
goes.
kids.
Yeah, Rick goes with you guys, and that leaves 2 people. Again, what you would imagine to be. Oh, sorry, no, that leaves 5. You see another husband and wife, and the young kids, which there are actually 3 of, as you now count. There might have been one waiting outside, but didn't go in. Well,
Okay. I don't
There
know. I
were
wasn't
4.
paying much attention to them.
And it looks like the other set of husband and wife stand next to the young kids, looking a little like the woman seems more into the young kids, not into them, but more like yeah. Where the husband's kind of like not a dick, but he's kind of like, okay, yeah, this will be fun. And so there you go. So a set of 5, and then you 3. So we're at 13 people.
Okay.
For those keeping track. So she says, "Excellent. Are these the groups you guys are going with?" And she kind of looks at you and Justin, or Chris and Justin.
Yep. I think we're good.
Yep.
And Rick says, "Yeah, for sure." After a long beat, and then he waits another long beat. He kind
Okay.
of says,
So
"It feels really. Are you guys like really hot?"
No. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah. No, I'm good. And Priscilla kind of notices and says, "All right." So open up cells 3, 2, and 4. Why did I do in that order? I don't
3,
know. 2, 3, and 4. Let's just do that. I don't know why I did 3, 2, and 4. Let's just do that. 2, 3, and 4. And Warden Core something? I forgot her name. Did anyone else remember her name?
Warden Alicia.
Carlotta. She wanted to be her last name. Her name is Alicia, but wants to go by Carlotta. Alicia Carlotta, Warden Carlotta, says, opening cells 2, 3, and 4, and she flips 3 switches on the wall, and the 3 cells nearest to you guys clack open.
And I say it to Rick before we go in. I say, hey, like, are you sure you're okay? Like, you can tell me if you're not feeling well.
And he's like, no, I'm totally fine. I think honestly, I've been up since like 6.
Oh, okay. Would I have been able to do like a charisma check?
Go for it. Yeah. What do you want to find out? If he's lying, or
I just want to find out if he's actually okay or if there's something like wrong with him. I feel like he's not telling me everything.
All right. Roll it old school.
Okay. So
let's
3, 2.
Yeah. Let's do 2 positive die. 1 for likable and 1 for the test.
Okay.
And this is social. And oh, by the way, Chris, we changed his negative feat to a terrible liar. I've already forgotten what the other one was. So
easily pressured.
Oh, easily pressured. So we're going to give you 2 positive die, and we are going to say, are you empathizing, being charisma? What do you do?
I guess I'm being. Well, I guess it is more empathy.
Yeah, I guess you're trying to empathize with him. So yeah, you know what? We're just going to say 2. So you just got to get a 2 or a 1 on either of those rolls. Or I guess a 3 or 2 or 1. So just roll 2 positivo die.
Nope, no dice.
No dice. Literally no dice. That's okay. So you kind of stop him and you say what you say, and he kind of goes, no, man, I'm totally fine. Honestly, I'm just beat.
Okay, fair enough.
So the 3 of you enter the cell, and you start looking around, and you're looking at these little pieces and stuff like that. And as you enter the cell, you kind of look around, and you see that the old man is just standing there.
In our cell?
No, he's standing where everyone has left. He's kind of just standing there looking vacantly at the cells.
Oh, okay. Is his family reacting?
Well, Priscilla kind of walks over to him and kind of says something that you can't quite hear, and he kind of just stares at her for a second and looks really confused at her. And then the woman who was with them, the mother, kind of walks out to him. And as she does that, the maintenance guy walks in. And so now it's Priscilla, the older man, the woman, and the maintenance guy. And as the maintenance guy kind of walks in, he's really only looking at the mother. And he's kind of looking at her with a little bit of an eye.
Oh, really?
Yes, not a hated eye, just kind of like a little bit of like a smug, something that doesn't feel good. It just it rubs you the wrong way. And then the old man kind of goes, "Oh no, of course," and he smiles, and the woman looks at the maintenance guy because she obviously sees it too, and kind of snubs it off. Priscilla has turned her back and didn't even notice, and she kind of continues back to where she was standing. So the woman. And Rick notices it too, and he's kind of like, that guy kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
It's got this weird look. I saw him looking at her while the warden was talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was just kind of giving her this really weird, like, I don't know, look.
What was the woman dressed like? Was she dressed in like fancy clothes or anything, or? She's like has money and this guy's pissed off about it, or?
No, well, maybe, but she's just wearing like a hoodie, very normal stuff. I mean, she's pretty. She's again maybe late 30s. She's relatively attractive, but you know.
Okay. So where's the maintenance guy going? I guess we're heading into our cells?
Maintenance guy, yeah, you guys are now in your cell kind of just watching this unfold. The maintenance guy kind of walks back to the under area where he originally met you guys.
Okay.
And he kind of walks with a little bit of a saunter, like he owns the place. Rubs you the wrong way, put it that way. He'd rub anybody the wrong way. He has that vibe. And Rick says the same.
Yeah.
And again, the mother's taking the man to the cell, the older man. And that's where they're at. So Priscilla says, all right, everybody in. Fingers and hands within the cells. Good. And so she says, again, to keep the atmosphere, because these are closer, are thing, and she points to the wall behind you, and as you see, there is a large clock. And you do hear a voice from a few cells over. It's a little muffled because obviously you guys are far apart now. Sounds like a woman's voice, and she says, "What if we have to use the bathroom?" And she signals. She says, "No problem." She says, "Directly across from this lot, there's a very small bunkhouse with some bathrooms in it, and it's relatively it's a relatively short walk." And you guys do remember walking in that there was kind of a door opposite. Put it that way.
Right. Okay.
And she goes, okay. She says, so everyone put your hands in. Again, so referencing the clock behind me, you guys are going to get 45 minutes. We're going to shut off the lights. You're still going to have your cell lights on, but it's going to be dark out here to give you guys a little bit of ambiance. And when we're ready to go, we're ready to go. Any last minute questions? And you kind of hear a little bit of a whimper in the darkness, just like a...
Little girl probably.
And Priscilla motions to the warden and says, okay, and you hear a... and the cell door shuts. Now you do see, looking on the back of it, there is like a little keyhole, and you do see the key stuck to the back. It's an old-fashioned key, like one of those old...
Skeleton key kind of thing?
Yes, that look, exactly. And the clock starts, and music fills the area. Not loud, but like a ambient little thing. And Rick snaps on it. He goes, okay, cool, I'm going to check this wall. And he turns around, and he starts checking the wall of the cell.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we don't have to go through the details of what you guys do in the cell. Suffice it to say that you're doing okay.
Very well. We do very well.
Because you don't have me screwing up the numbers. As I famously have.
Yeah.
So, you're looking at the clock, and it's about 32 minutes down, meaning that it's at 32. So, whatever, 13 minutes has passed. It's on the 45-minute clock. And you hear this whimpering again. And it kind of distracts, I would say, both of you, really. Okay. Well, I'd say maybe Chris was closest to the door, and you're kind of searching the thing, and you found maybe the first box, and Justin's kind of cracked over looking at it, and you're kind of like, you hear that sound again.
Does it sound like a little girl?
I guess you don't have to roll a listen or anything, so yeah, I would say it does. I mean, based on the pitch.
And does it sound like the cell next to us, or several cells down?
It sounds tough to tell because you have no frame of reference for what sounds next to you. Right. But what you can say is that it did sound like the woman who asked where the bathroom was.
Sorry, what cell are we in? 2, 3, or 4?
You guys are in 4. So I'm going to show you the picture.
It would have to be to the right of us.
Yeah, and so we're 1, 2, 3, 4. So you guys are in this cell, okay? And the other 2 occupied cells are this one and this one.
Right.
So it could be one of these 2 cells.
Okay.
So you hear the whimpering, and it starts growing a little louder. And it kind of slowly turns into a bit of a cry.
Well, then I would obviously say, Justin, I don't think something's wrong with someone next down. And I call out for the warden. I say, Warden!
So, Justin, are you, like, into this, or what? Are you kind of like, yeah, keep crying?
Well, I think Chris has got a handle on it right now. I'm going to keep on searching and solving puzzles.
Yeah, for sure. So you're still doing it, and Chris, are you, like, letting Rick know, or what?
No, I mean, I told them, I said, listen, I hear someone crying. I'm just going to make sure everything's okay. So I keep calling. I call the warden.
Okay, so you turn around and you tell Justin and Rick, and then you call the warden. And when you turn to Justin and Rick, Justin he's got his face down thing. He kind of acknowledges it, but Rick doesn't move. He's kind of standing, and you kind of realize that he's been standing facing the corner for, I don't know, maybe like a good 5 minutes, just kind of staring at a corner.
I say, Rick, are you okay?
Okay, so the warden kind of walks over, and she says, hey, is it about the girl crying?
Yeah, is she okay?
She goes, yeah, we're checking on her. I think we're going to let her out. Is everything else good?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. Let me know. Yeah. And then she kind of goes off to the kid. So
then I walk over to Rick, and I kind of tap him on the shoulder. I say, Rick, you okay?
Okay, so Rick kind of just stays there. He's kind of facing the corner, and there's about this much space between him and the corner.
He's just staring at it? I like look around him, I try to look at his face.
Yeah,
Is
you
he
can
just
look at his. He's just kind of standing there like this.
Justin,
Mhm.
look at Rick. You think he's okay?
Yeah, well, he's been standing there for a while. I thought he was doing a puzzle.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Have you, your job, you come across, is this normal? Is this a psychological thing, maybe?
Well, it looks like a catatonic stare, but yeah, so I stand up and I look at him, and he's not moving at all. He's just
kind of standing there looking in the corner.
not blinking.
No. So roll 4.
Social?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. Do you want to say anything to him?
Empathy.
Well, I've tried to get his attention.
Yeah. No. Okay.
I'd probably crack a joke and say, "Hey, Rick, are you in there?
That seems legit.
Still
Okay.
there?"
Yeah, I could totally see you doing something like that. I actually could. I'd be like, "Hey man, you okay?"
You in there?
So he doesn't move, and as you kind of turn around, you do see he looks a little different than he did maybe half an hour ago when you first met him outside. Well, I guess now it'd be like close to 45 minutes maybe.
Can
he
I put
looks
my finger on it?
on him.
No. Can I put my finger on what makes it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I guess you don't have to roll for anything because there's no real like perception in this. So we'll just say that you look at him, and you kind of turn around, you look at him, and you notice that while he was always kind of gaunt and thin, his skin looks really flaky.
Ugh.
Not disgustingly so, not like, ugh, but like,
Dry?
well, more so odd because he didn't look that way before. Mind you, if you saw him at the beginning and he had that skin, you'd be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh,
He's just got
like
skin.
sunburn kind of thing, almost as if his skin's peeling?
A little bit, yeah. I would say more like it's like stress. You know when people are thin, they gain a lot of weight, and they have like those stretch marks? It kind of looks like that. Like he's kind of got these like flaky, but a little bit porous. But again, had you met the guy like that, you would think nothing of it. Just maybe the guy's got maybe he had some weight issues in the past.
Well, I don't want to be locked in a room with someone, and I feel like he's sick, so I'm going to call the warden again. I said, Warden!
Okay. So you wait, and Rick still just kind of stands there, and then he kind of shakes his head and he's like, what's up? What? Are we still doing this? Let's do this.
Yeah, are you okay? You kind of blanked out there.
So he turns around and he's like, I don't know, man, I haven't been feeling good. I've been feeling really weird lately. Just 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes?
Well, I remember it got really dark in here. My mind went to like overdrive, and I don't know. It's just feeling really.
I think you should probably stop playing, Rick. I don't think it's okay with you. I think we should probably stop.
Oh,
I called the
sorry,
warden.
guys. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to do this. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's
So
all
you
right.
call the warden over. So she shows up and she's kind of like, "Hey, we took her out."
Good. Actually, I think Rick's not feeling great. So I think just me and Justin are going to continue on if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Okay, give me 2 seconds, and she kind of zips off screen for a second. And at this point, it's maybe 11 minutes left or something like that. This happened. Took some time. So the lights flick on. The clock stops at 11 minutes, and your door kind of rattles open. And Priscilla's standing out there and say, "Okay, hey guys, I am so sorry. So we had a little issue with cell number 2. Someone got a little scared, and you see the mother's holding the daughter hand, and she's kind of like, obviously she was crying, the young girl. And she says, and our second group actually got out in record time, and the husband and wife and the 3 kids are like Instagramming it."
Oh yeah.
And she goes,
Scary person and the sick guy.
and she goes, and one of our people in the last cell isn't feeling too well. So you guys come out of the cell, and you turn around to see Rick, and he's facing the wall again.
What's he looking at? So
So Priscilla
Is
kind
he
of walks
looking
over.
at something?
Well, Priscilla kind of walks over and he's like, "Is he okay? What's wrong with him?"
We actually we just met him, and we're not sure if there's any psychological issues that he's going through. But he keeps going in and out. And he says he's not feeling well. He could be doing he could be having seizures or something like that we don't know about.
So you guys are looking at him, and are you standing in the cell or are you outside the cell now?
I would be in the cell behind Priscilla, maybe 3 feet. If she's looking at him, like I would
She's
be
outside the cell. She's just kind of looking in, being like, "What's going on?"
I said, okay, then I would be in the cell and I would gesture to go in. I said, maybe you should call somebody.
She says, "Okay, is it that serious?" And she kind of walks over and be like, "Are you all right, sir?" And she kind of like softly pats him back. "Are you okay?" And she's kind of like, "Yeah, maybe go get the warden." I think she's just still standing on top. And you see him. He's like kind of scratching his arm pretty violently.
Okay. Justin, I'm gonna go get some help.
Yeah. Okay.
So I go and I try to call for the maintenance guy. I guess look for him.
So he kind of walks out and he's like, "Yeah, what's up?"
There's some issue in our cell. Someone I think needs some medical assistance. So if it's okay, can you either call an ambulance or maybe I should?
I mean, as soon as you say there's someone in the cell he's kind of like, and he walks like right past you towards the cell, and the warden starts walking downstairs, and she's like, "What was that? What's going on?"
Oh wait, sorry, wasn't it the warden who came into our room?
No, that was Priscilla.
Priscilla.
Oh, okay.
The tour
Well,
guide.
I explained it to the warden.
Okay, and she goes, "Oh, okay." And Justin, you're still back with Priscilla?
Yeah, I'm just standing at the door.
Okay, so you see now that the rest of the people are kind of crowded around the cell looking in. The old man's kind of like, "Oh, I used to be a medic in the war." No, he's just kind of like, being inquisitive, and the young girl's kind of like sniffling in front of her mom. And Priscilla's kind of touching the guy's back. She's kind of like, "Are you okay?" And then she's like, "I don't even know if he's breathing." And she goes to put her hand out, and you hear a shrill scream as Rick takes a bite out of her hand. And she pulls it away, and blood splashes on the cell wall. And she's just screaming. And you facing... And you facing the crowd just immediately kind of like backs away.
Okay, so she's just standing there? Or
she got bit and kind of just pulled it away, like just in a...
Okay, so I run in and I grab her and I walk her back towards the entrance.
Okay.
Of the cell.
Yeah.
And what is Rick doing?
And he kind of turns around and you see that the skin, which looks stretched, looks even more stretched now. It looks like, again, like it's almost...
Okay.
Yeah, I walk into the cell, keeping my hands up here, going, "Okay, Rick, you just calm down right now, okay?"
Okay. And Rick kind of takes a step towards you and he goes, "What do you mean calm down?" And he's got blood dripping from his mouth.
Okay, clearly you're not well. You need to stay where you are.
Okay, so as you're saying that, the cell begins to shut.
Okay, and do I have time to get it out or no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I back out.
Unless you ran into the cell. Were you running into the cell?
I stepped in, like a foot in, but not like far enough that I wouldn't be able to get back out, I guess.
No, and he goes, yeah, that's fair enough. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, the guy's covered in blood. I just put
myself between Justin and the injured person and Rick.
Yeah, and they're like, well, like she's getting as far away from that fucking cell.
I didn't want Rick to leave the cell, but I didn't want to go in close enough that he could injure me.
No, that's fine. And as you step back, he kind of comes at you, like walking. He's kind of like, "What do you mean?" He puts out a hand. And as he puts out his hand, the cell door closes on his arm, and it just snips off. And the hand falls on the ground.
Yeah.
And what looks like black sludge is coming from the cut piece of the arm.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks at his arm from the cell and looks back at you. And he goes, "Oh."
Okay,
so I'll paint the scene real quick. So the warden standing upstairs at the switch, looking down at it, and she kind of screams, "Get back!" The crowd now kind of is back against the wall, little girl crying, mother like kind of covering her daughter's eyes, being like, "Oh my God, you just threw up, Chris, because you have a weak stomach."
Yeah.
And I'm going to say you take a stress for that. I'm not going to say you have to roll, because I think you take it anyway. Okay, roll. We can roll.
What do I roll?
Roll vitality?
1 versus 1?
It would be a negative, a roll for the vitality, a roll for because you just saw it happen, and another roll for weak stomach. So 2 negatives, 1 positive.
I probably got a roll for stress too.
Yes, you do too. But you're only going to roll 1 and 1 negative, Justin.
What does that mean?
That means that you get 1 negative. The 3 cancels out to 3, but you still get 1 negative as opposed to 2. So you just take 1 stress.
I tied my number.
You tied it? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Justin's. That's why.
Sorry.
Okay, so 3. So the tie is a success. So 1 cancels out 1. No, because you only had 1. You were only rolling 1 success die, and 1 of the negatives canceled it out. So really, you're left with 1 negative.
Right. Oh, I see.
So you take 1 stress because you were taking a positive because of the roll. Yeah, well, and then a negative because of the weak, and a negative because
Here, I will show them. So these two, the left one is my positive, the right one is a negative. They cancel each other out. And then the middle one is the remainder, which was a negative.
Exactly. So you take 1 stress. And Justin, it cancels it. No, it cancels it out. I don't think you take anything.
Oh, okay.
I think you're even Stevens. Okay, so now, Chris, what do you do?
Okay. So, after I wipe my mouth and go, "Sorry, guys." Well, I'd be like...
Don't have to apologize. We've seen grosser things in the past 30 seconds.
I pull out my cell phone, and I say, "Rick, get this door open. We need to help him." And I call 911.
Okay, so the warden comes down the stairs, and she goes, "Yeah, we're not opening that cell, but calling 911 is a great idea."
Okay, so I'm calling it.
And she kind of looks down. Yeah. Are you calling it?
He's gonna bleed to death. You need to open the cell and help him.
Are you calling 911 right now?
Yes, I'm that much into this game.
And the warden is looking at it, and Justin, you're with Priscilla, correct?
Yeah.
So Priscilla's bleeding.
Yeah. I see.
Well,
I put pressure on it. I take off my shirt. I'm wearing a second layer.
Yeah, you are.
And I wrap my shirt around it and put pressure on it, and I say she needs a bandage or something. I'm sure you've got something around to the warden.
The warden's over with Chris, but you're kind of with the majority of the group of people who are kind of shying away. Are you addressing them?
Well, yeah, I say, does anybody have a bandage?
Okay, so they're obviously nervous. Do you want to single a person out and ask them, or just kind of ask the group?
I single out the old man.
Okay.
And
so
roll
likability.
He said he used to be a medic in the war, right?
No, he didn't actually say that. That was just me being an asshole.
Oh, come on, man. Of all the
How many people do you actually know that are medics in the war?
I know several people who are medics in the war.
Just roll it. You're good. But you're going to get a plus, so we're going to do a positive. We're going to do a plus for likability, and we're going to do only 1... No, we're not going to do any negatives. We'll say just roll 2 positives.
Okay.
Because what's the negative to that? No, I'm not going to help you.
What's...
And you're 4 or under, so you're success. It's very good.
Yeah.
So not only does he stand up and, I guess, rip off a piece of his own shirt, he also shows you how to bandage it, and he goes, "Okay, come over here." And he kind of rolls it up, and he says, "Look, you want to make sure you tie it tight." And then he looks down at her wound for a second and just kind of freezes.
Are you all right? Hello?
Yeah. No, of course.
You just stared blankly at her wound.
No, I and then he starts repeating himself and telling you exactly what he just told you. He goes, "No, when you want to wrap a thing, you want to make sure you wrap it around twice and all that kind of thing."
Oh, he's starting to pause the way that Rick was.
So Priscilla notices this as well, and she's kind of like, "Thank you," and she's obviously in very much pain, and she heads over to the guard room.
Okay. So Priscilla's okay?
She's okay for the time being, yes.
Okay. So I leave the man, I nod, and I say thank you, and I go over to the little girl and her mom.
Okay. And we'll pause there and we'll go back to Chris for a second. So you're at the little girl and the mom. So Chris, the warden comes over and you're dialing 911. You get through and you tell them, I'm assuming, what?
There's someone injured here. There's some sick people. There's someone who's been attacked and injured. We need a police officer over here, please. And an ambulance.
Perfect. And then warden... What's her name?
I can't remember.
Cortez? We'll go with Cortez. Something Spanish. Warden Cortez says, and give them my name too, Warden Cortez, and she gives you the number. Like, if they have to get in touch with me, I have the easiest way to get in touch with as well, if they can't get a hold of you. She's kind of panicking a little bit, right? She's like, look, I'm the groundskeeper. I'm not really... I was a corrections officer years ago, but anyway. And then you're looking down at the thing, and she kind of vomits a bit too. And again, what you see is a grisly sight. Everything that is red and covered in blood, minus the blood that Priscilla sprayed on the walls and dripping from Rick's mouth, is black.
Right.
Everything
so
yeah.
All the blood that would have come from Rick's wound is black.
Exactly. So, looking down at it, you actually see that the black blood from the arm actually starts shaping itself into kind of a tentacle of sorts.
A tendril of something.
Yeah, it's kind of moving, like many different things moving in motion of one, like a muscle dissected. It looks like many different pieces of string, kind of in one.
I picture Carnage from Spider-Man.
Very similar. Yep. And the warden just looks wide-eyed at you and says, "That is not human."
I say, "Let's get out of here."
And she goes, "Yeah."
I fight back in the way, and I keep pushing other people back. I said, "Okay, we need to clear this area."
Yeah, and so they all kind of stand back, and the arm just kind of stays there again. And she kind of starts walking towards the door, and so Justin, meanwhile, you were talking to the kid?
Yeah, this is, I guess, while it's happening.
Yes.
But I say, are you guys okay? You seemed pretty stressed out before this all started happening.
Do you want to do a charisma or an empathy?
Yeah, empathy to see if they'll open a... no, more charisma, I guess, to see if they'll open a dialogue.
Yes. Yeah, that's fair. Charisma to open, empathy to close.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so roll one for likable, one for the success, one for the grisly sight that you're trying to get past.
One negative.
One negative, that is, yeah.
Right, yeah. So 2 and 5. Okay, so this is good. And then this is my negative 3. Okay.
Okay, so you succeed, but you do take a negative. She kicks you in the crotch. No,
That's appropriate.
No. She take a stress, and we'll figure out why thematically. Can't really think of why you take a negative.
Stress under social, right?
Yes.
So is that my negative then?
That would be the 3, yes, because it didn't cancel out.
You can tell that this is going to affect her for the rest of her life, and it kind of wears on you.
Yeah, it weighs on you a bit. Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm not using the stress from last game, just...
No, all new. Okay, so she kind of looks up to you, and what do you say to her?
I say, well, I asked her if she's okay, if she's doing okay, how's she feeling right now?
So the little girl kind of nods at you, and the mom kind of takes over, but not in an aggressive way, and she kind of says, I think we've all seen a lot in the last 10 minutes, but I think she's okay for the time being.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a personal question. Is that your father over there? And I gesture to the old man.
No.
Oh, okay. So
No. I've never met him before tonight. He was out front.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He just felt bad, so we invited him to join.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Yeah, no, this is just me and my daughter here.
Okay. All right. And I gesture aside to the mom, and I say hush hush to her so the daughter doesn't hear. I say I heard that she was crying earlier. I was wondering what that was.
Oh, she was just scared. I think the lights got to her. I didn't know it was going to be so scary when we came.
Oh.
Yeah, Harlan, am I putting 2 and 2 together, seeing that the old man paused outside and seeing how Rick paused? Am I kind of figuring out that they're kind of acting the same, or is it too?
No, I don't think you would. Justin definitely would. At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. I mean, he could just be an old guy,
Well,
right?
that's what I'm thinking. I was thinking maybe he had dementia or something if he had a history of this, but.
So no, yeah, Justin might be. Chris, no, definitely not. Not at this point. So the warden is 2 steps from the door, and she kind of stops. And Chris, are you on her heels? What are you at?
Yeah, I'm trying to push people backing out.
They're not moving. They're kind of just standing next to the open cell. That way, like far enough away though, of course.
Yeah, I turn around and I say, "We need to clear this area right now." And I grab the first person and I kind of push them towards the door.
Yeah, and the warden says, "You introduce yourself to the warden?" I can't remember. Does she know your name? No.
No.
You. Hey, come here for a second. Come here for a second.
As I walk away, I say, "You guys get out of here."
And she goes, hold on, everybody. Just everybody calm down. Stay as far away from that cell as possible. Everyone and everyone calm down. And she kind of motions to you.
So what is it?
She says, I have no idea what just crawled out of that guy or what is in that guy.
And don't you think we should get away from it?
When I was standing above, that old man paused for a long time before he entered the cell, and I noticed that during Priscilla talking, Rick did the same. Like, I don't know what the fuck that thing is. I don't know if we can just let everyone leave here if whatever could be with it can be spread.
We can't leave here because the cops are going to be here soon, and they're going to want to speak to everybody. So is there a safe place that we can put them far enough away that they aren't in danger? Maybe in that class, the room over there with the warden's office.
Yeah, we can definitely move everyone in there. But honestly, out of every building on this complex, this building is the safest one. The bathroom is right across from it, and the bathroom can't be sealed on its own. This can be locked from the inside. I have all the keys to this building.
We need to wait for the police officers to get here, so maybe we should put them there so that they're away from it. But yeah, we don't need to leave the building itself.
Yeah. Or, yeah, no, that makes sense. The only other option is to try to move that thing, but I don't want to touch it.
I'm not touching it either.
No, I think if we all go in the second level of the guard tower, we'll be safer.
Yeah.
Or even if we're just in the second level, and she kind of motions to above, because you guys are on the under part right now, near the door, and she kind of is, even if we're on the second level, I think that would be better. At least we can get a eye view.
Right. I'm going to stay, we should have someone stay down here so that when the officers come, they can direct them in here.
Well, they have your cell phone and my cell phone. I don't trust anyone else with the key besides myself. And I don't know if we can let anything out or if we can let anything in. What the fuck am I talking about? What is going on?
You can't hold the people here, but we need to tell them to stay because they need to. They're all witnesses, first of all, to what happened, and second of all, if they are sick, we can't have them go. But you can't tell them that they have to stay. We need to just try to convince them. Don't lock the door because then we're gonna have chaos on our hands.
If I don't lock the door and someone runs to it while I'm not watching it,
we'll have to try to stop them.
But then it gets violent and scary. My thinking is, look, it's only you and me here right now. I will quietly lock it, and we'll tell everyone to wait. If it's unlocked...
Do that without anyone seeing you.
Yeah. And she turns around and quickly locks it, zaps it back to her belt, like a thing.
Okay. They're going to look to you for authority, because you're the only one who's kind of... you're in uniform.
That's fine, and I know this building, but you and your friend need to also back me up on things.
Yeah, I'll let them know, but we need to start moving the people away.
Yeah, so she walks out.
I go to Justin and I explain what's going on.
Yeah, and she kind of gives herself a second and says, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have called the police. They should be here shortly, but we want to make sure that they know where we are. So we want to stay in this building, and we want to remain safe. So let's move to the top level, and we're going to just sit here and sit tight until they get here. It should be no more than 20 minutes. We called them 5 minutes ago, and there's no way they're going to take longer than that. The front prison is open.
When I told Justin about everything, including the old man, I suggest also that we keep an eye on him and try to keep him closer to the back of the group, between the group and, we'll be between him and the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it might not just be the old man we need to worry about, though. We might have to worry about Priscilla too.
Yeah, it might be airborne.
It might be airborne. If it's blood transferable, then we might have an issue.
So you guys sit down, And there's some chairs and tables and stuff like that, and the warden kind of just paces back and forth. And Priscilla sits down next to you guys, and she says, "What the fuck is wrong with that guy? Why did he bite me?"
He's sick. There's something wrong with him, yes. But we don't know yet.
You saw his blood.
And she starts getting tears in her eyes, and she starts saying, "Yes, but what if that's in me right now?"
We don't know that. We don't even know if it's transferable. It's probably a mental illness, and mental illness cannot be spread through...
A mental fucking illness? He had black blood.
Well, what do you propose we do? I mean, there's a chance that it might be in you. What do we do about it?
Do you want to be separated from the group?
So she's got tears in her eyes, and she says, "You think there's a chance it's in me?"
You just said it yourself. We're not going to skirt around the issue. Let's try to solve it. Let's see if there's something we can do.
You know, we don't think it's in you.
Yeah, I'm going to say roll charisma.
Can I change can I add what I would say also? I'd say there's professionals on their way. You know, you clearly are not... He was going through a lot of symptoms before this happened. You're not showing these symptoms yet. We're finding it way before he turned. So there's no reason for you to panic.
What symptoms?
He was having pauses, stuttering. He was blanking out for 10 minutes at a time.
So roll a charisma.
Can I roll empathy?
No, this is on Justin. No, sorry, and this is Justin rolling an empathy. Sorry, this is a empathy.
I feel like mine was more empathy.
It was, but Justin was the one who told her that, yeah, maybe it could be, and I want to punish him for that. So I'm going to say roll...
I liked how Frankie was, because I think that's sometimes...
Yeah, and listen, Frank to Chris and Harlan would be the best thing for the action. Frank to a girl who just got bit by a fucking thing that has black blood is going to scare the shit out of her.
No,
so I'm
no,
going to say one positive.
She said it herself. She said...
Of course. People say that. It's like,
should
I do this? So that people are like, no, of course not. Not like, yeah, probably.
No, I'm not going to lie to her.
No, it's fine.
I'm not going to lie to her and say
hey, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying for her psyche and yours, it was a bad thing. So roll one positive and two negative.
Okay, so here's the positive. No dice. And the two negatives.
Cancel each other.
No dice, so two negatives.
Okay.
So basically, she breaks down.
She stands up and says,
"I want out of here."
She says something like that. She goes, "I want out of here," and she also says, "And you can fucking people. This guy who bit me, he was spacing out and he was freaking out, and I saw that old guy doing it too." And immediately, the little girl starts crying. Well, again, because she's a kid. And one of the husbands kind of stands up, and the maintenance dude walks over to the old guy.
And so when I see that
aggressively, and he's like,
okay, I stand between them. I say, "We're gonna deal with this. You look after the other kids. There's a little girl crying. We need your strength to go over there and look after them." This gentleman and this young lady, and we're gonna stay down here. We're gonna discuss this first of all.
So the old man's just kind of looking bewildered and scared. The husband is kind of like, "Look, regardless of what this is, you got to get him out of here. Put him in the guard tower or something. Get him somewhere away from us. Put him in a cell if you have to."
All right, we will do that. You just make sure these people stay safe and away from downstairs.
And when he says that, the guy in the maintenance jumper is like, "Put him in a cell." And he walks over to the cells and he cranks one open.
I think that's a little drastic. We can put him in the cell downstairs with one of the keys.
Yeah, that's fine. Just we got to take the key. And then the husband's agreeing. He's like, "Yeah, why would you leave him the fucking key?"
I agree. I'm going to take the key because I'm going to stay with him to make sure he's...
And the warden steps up and says, "No, I'll take the key. I have all the keys." And she kind of says, "Well, put him in the..." And she calms down the maintenance guy and says, "What's his name? Rick? Rand." She says, "Randy, just relax. We will take him downstairs. We will put him in a cell. Everyone sit and calm down."
Okay.
Priscilla... Go ahead.
I go up to the warden and I say, "Speaking of keys, did we get the key from Rick's cell?"
And she says, "No, it's still on the back of the door." All right, let's deal with that. But she says that obviously to aside to you. Says, look, everyone stay here. And she turns to one of you two and says, or you two, and says, look, can one of you stay here and keep it calm while we put this man in the cell?
And I say yes, but I also don't think it's a great idea to have all of the keys on one person. What if, heaven forbid, something happens to you?
Well, you know what? I don't think it's a great idea to split up the keys. So unless you have duplicates, I can't think of a better solution. Keep them in a communal place. What if we need them? How about this? I'll just go anywhere anyone needs to move to.
Fair enough.
So,
Okay, so go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So, sorry, what's happening now is that we're separating the group. We're going, me and the old man and the young lady who's been bit.
The warden and the old man. The warden is going to take the old man into the cell, and she's saying one of you two come with her, and one of you two stay behind and keep everyone in.
Well, then I would say we need to also isolate this lady who's been bitten as well, because we don't know if it will spread.
Okay, and she's kind of freaking out a bit on her own because she's freaking out, and everyone's kind of staying away from her because they know she's bitten. Everyone's seen zombie movies, and the warden says, "I've known her for years. What do you want to? I can't make that call. What do you want to do with her?"
I just want to put her in a cell for her safety and everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
If other people start freaking out that she's dangerous, they could easily turn on her. And if she starts freaking out, she'd get hurt herself. Who knows? Let's put her somewhere safe.
All right. Yeah. No, you're right. Okay. Priscilla, can you come over here? And Priscilla kind of walks over, like, and she says, look, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's happening right now. But you know as well as anyone else here that something could be wrong, and we need to make sure that you're not going to hurt anyone else. And and I'll make her roll. Same as you did. Nah, a little better, because she said something nicer. I'm going to do 2 positives for her and 2 negatives, because I gave you 1 positive and 2 negatives?
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll do 2 and 2. So we'll do these for the positives. Can you see the other die? It only shows up 1 for me.
I can only see 1.
Oh, weird. Okay, well, there we go. And 2 negatives. So 1 negative, 1 positive. I'm going to say 1 is a success, so I don't have to worry about that. So Priscilla, okay. So she'll take a stress. And Priscilla, also with the relationship that she's had with the warden, Alicia, for so long, it obviously she can see it, and she's scared. She's just so scared right now, yeah. And that's translating to fear and anger. And she kind of angrily looks at you, and she kind of says, "Yeah, all right, okay, fine." And she heads downstairs first, leading the way.
Okay.
And you're going with them, and Chris is staying behind, correct?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, perfect. So since Chris is gone for the second, then we'll continue on. So the warden, the old man, who just kind of looks just so sad. He's just so confused, really.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, what? Why me?
So what cell is he going into?
So the warden gets down there and calls up and says, Randy, open cells 5 and 6.
Well, no, they shouldn't be next to each other.
She says, why not?
Well, if something happens to one of them, having a cell right next to a potentially healthy person could put them at risk.
All right. So, Randy, close 5 and open 1 and 6. Better?
Sure.
So she takes who do you want to put in which cell?
Why don't we put Priscilla in 1?
Okay.
Closer to the door.
Yeah.
And we'll put the old man in 6.
Okay. So you walk over to cell 1, and Priscilla goes in, tears in her eyes, just streaming down her face, just a quivering lip, absolute terror in her eyes. And the warden steps back, who also now has a few tears in her eyes, and she says, Randy, close cell 1. And the cell closes. And Warden, after a heartbeat, reaches into the cell and grabs the spare key and unsticks it and puts it in her pocket and says, "I'm sorry," and steps back. And Priscilla kind of walks to the bars and she's like, well, what if I'm all right? What if I need to get out? And the warden says, "Look, you'll be as safe in here as we'll be out here. Nothing's going to get through these bars, and nothing can get out."
Mm-hmm.
I would say I can stay here and talk with you if you feel like you're going to get lonely.
You're up top, man.
Oh, sorry. I
You
left.
stay behind to make sure everything is safe.
I could go down and spend time with her.
So, cut back to you up top, and
Just had an out-of-body experience, sorry.
and you're looking over everybody, and Randy is you kind of hear like this girl like kind of swat off, and it's the mother, and Randy's kind of got his hand on her shoulder, and he's kind of like saying something into her ear,
Weird.
and then he's kind of like, and he walks back to the switches where the warden was asking him. And are you looking at anybody else, or?
Can I... Yeah, just keep an eye on the group, make sure no one's panicking too much.
Do you want a GM suggestion?
Please.
Why don't you ask them their names? Let's get some sort of like
Dialogue going.
camaraderie going.
Yeah.
Might make it easier, right?
Yeah, just try to lighten the mood a little bit. So, didn't probably expect this tonight, did you?
So you hear the old man laugh from below. No, I'm kidding. No, and they're all kind of awkwardly looking at each other. And again, you see two sets of couples, husbands and wives, a mother, daughter, 3 young kids, and that's it right now because everyone else.
Okay. Where's everyone from? Is everyone from Kingston?
So one of the man who was not the man who stood up, not the husband. He kind of goes, "Yeah, my wife and I are from here."
Oh. Well, anybody else? Everyone from Kingston? I'm from Pickering. Just outside of Toronto.
No one says anything. And then one of the young girls who was in the group of 3, the kind of teens, goes, "Yeah, we're all from Kingston."
That's exactly how awkward it would be. Well, man, the police take a while, eh?
So one of the
That's the worst thing to say.
so the mom
The police seem to not be coming.
the mom kind of stands there and she kind of goes, "Sorry, sir, what's your name? Maybe if you introduce yourself, it wouldn't feel like you're grilling us."
Yeah, my name's Chris. I'll be your server tonight. My name's Chris. I'll be taking...
And it does not land. Just roll for joke landing. No,
Oh,
but
I'm trying to make a joke. I'm just laughing at myself.
and the mother seeing you kind of struggling kind of says, "Okay, this sounds a little like Alcoholics Anonymous or something, but my name is Stacy and this is Beatrice."
Nice to meet you, Stacy. Nice to meet you, Beatrice.
And everyone else is still kind of just
I try to reassure them. I say, you know, the police officers, the response time is usually around 5 minutes. So we haven't been here that long. They should be here shortly.
And one of the girls who said that they're all from Kingston, one of the girls that's with her, the other girl says, "What the fuck was wrong with that guy's arm?"
Yeah, we don't know. It looked like he was sick of some sort of sickness.
And one of the other husbands, goes, "What are we waiting for? The police?"
Yeah.
And the wife kind of goes, "Shh," like kind of shushes him. And he's like, "No, seriously, like this. Why would we not go out to meet the police?"
Can I talk to you? I say,
You could look. This whole fucking under the counter shit. Look, we're all here. We're all in the same thing. If you just say it to everybody. I'm not saying that to be a dick, man. I'm saying that because no one knows what the fuck's going on and everybody's scared right now.
For sure. What I don't want is to scare anyone any further, because there are some children present. But if you would like me to, and this is the father, right?
This is one of the not the father. This is one of the men, a husband.
If you want to talk to me, I'll feel free to let you know, and you can share that with whoever. I just feel it's not fair to say anything without the permission of the parents.
And the mother of the daughter, Stacy, who is the mother now, Stacy, She says, "Look, I'll let you guys talk." And she picks up her daughter and kind of walks to another area of the thing. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Just you guys can talk." And then the dude turns back to you and goes, "So what do you know that no one else knows?"
I don't know anything that no one else knows, but as you saw, the man was clearly sick, and we don't know what exposure we have been put through. When the police come here, if we leave, we could cause either more problems or we could look like we're fleeing a scene for some reason. Does that help anything? I don't think so.
Okay, so why are you locking that guy in a prison cell?
That guy there was showing some of the symptoms that Rick, who was the man who was sick, was showing previously prior to him, biting the lady.
And the wife says to him, this guy says, "Well, what are the symptoms? Is that what that girl was talking about that got bit?"
Yeah, we should be aware of the symptoms. If anyone is feeling a little ill, a little warm, feverish, also if they keep pausing or stuttering or blanking out for a period of time, you should let us know just so that we can make sure that you're looked after as best we can.
All right. Well, and then the other husband who has not been talking, and again, give you guys kind of a rundown because you would probably have an idea now. There's a husband and wife.
Yep.
There is a husband and wife. So there are two sets of couples. There is currently up here. We'll just do up here right now. There are two sets of couples. There is a mother and a daughter who do not seem to be related to these couples, obviously. And then there are three 20-somethings. Okay? So the man who you were talking to, the majority, was one of the husbands. The other husband kind of says, "Well, look, I'm not. It's nothing like I can help anyone, but I volunteer at a hospital on weekends. I might be able to help if someone gets a fever or something. I don't know.
No, that might be helpful. We'll definitely consider coming to you. But again, maybe we should all go towards. Maybe he can check us all for fevers, just to see if any of us have been exposed, and get it before it becomes an issue.
Well, I don't have any sort of like.
Yeah, but you would be able to tell, I'm sure.
Well, and he kind of stands up and says, "Well, look, everybody, I can check you if you want. I don't." Put it this way, if you guys have any of the symptoms, sweaty palms, and he starts listing off the symptoms for fever. Look, and everyone watch each other's back for them. And look, I'm Isaac, and this is my wife, Ashley. And the dude who was talking to you goes, "Yeah, my name's Michael, and this is my wife, Kathy." And the three kids kind of near the back are kind of like, the man, or the boy speaks up, and he goes, "I'm James, this is Jess, and Bridget."
Just to make sure that we don't, miss anything, perhaps we should all sit in a circle so we can keep an eye on each other. We'll have a continual conversation, and that way, if anyone starts showing the symptoms, we'll be aware of it early on.
And Michael, one of the other husbands, not the doctor husband, says, "Yeah, well, I guess we can do something like that. The chairs are kind of bolted down. Let's just keep looking at each other."
Exactly.
So, cut back to below. You guys are now walking. This is obviously timeline's a little askew, but you walk past the Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's still standing in his cell, kind of just staring at you guys.
What's his arm doing?
His arm is still standing there, but the black is kind of moving, almost like it's licking the floor.
Can we contain that at all, Warden? Ashley? Sorry, Alicia.
Yeah, you know what? Drop the fucking warden shit. Just call me Alicia at this point. Yeah. I don't feel like much of a warden, and I really don't want to. I don't know how. How do you want to contain it? Sure, you want to throw a blanket on it? Let's do it.
Do we have a box or something?
There might be one in the guard shed. And the old man's still standing next to you, obviously.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I turn to the old man and I say, "What's your name, sir?"
And he looks at you and he says, "Edgar."
Edgar. Okay. So I give a knowing nod to Alicia because he didn't delay at all. And I say, "Okay, Edgar, everything's going to be fine, but for your own safety and for our own safety, we're going to put you in cell number 6.
And he kind of goes, "Oh, okay." And you continue walking towards it. Warden calls up to Randy, open cell 6. Cell 6 swings open, and he walks in, and there's some tears in his eyes too.
Okay.
And he turns around and he kind of says, "It was nice to meet you. I understand you needed to do what you had to do." And the door shuts. And you're standing in front, and the warden's kind of stepping back, and she says,
Okay.
"Make sure you grab the key."
Yeah. So I grab the key and I take it and I shake his hand. And
Okay.
I say, "This is very noble what you're doing, sir. And everything's going to be okay."
And he kind of just nods and goes and sits on the bunk. And the warden says, "I might as well take the key. I have all of them."
Yeah. Okay.
So she takes the key from you, puts it in her pocket, and you guys start walking back. And she says, "Do you want to check the the guardhouse until to see if there's anything in there to contain that?" The Gordon house?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind just
Garbage bin
touching
or
base with. Yeah, I mean that's true. We could stick it in a garbage bin and stick something heavy on the garbage bin, or just flip it upside down. I don't know if that would do enough, but yeah, I want to just go up and touch base with Chris and
Okay.
just.
And she says, "Yeah, I'll probably come with you. They probably aren't too happy after seeing what just happened." And the two of you walk up, and Chris is still fielding a few questions, and yeah, that's where we're at. And the mother picks up her daughter and kind of walks back over and says, "Oh, you guys answered your questions. You know what's going on now." And she says, "Good, because I have to pee, and Beatrice does too." And Randy steps up and he says, "Yeah, I'll take you. I know where the bathroom is."
Randy, maybe we'll let what is her name? Not the warden. What's the warden's name?
Priscilla.
Alicia. Priscilla's the one in the. Priscilla's
Alicia.
the one yeah.
Alicia, maybe you should take them.
And Alicia says, "Yeah," and then Randy goes, "Why fuck can't I take him? I know where it is."
Yeah, they just
And
might
he's all of a sudden from the south. "I know where it fucking is. Why can't I take him?"
Southern prison.
Yeah.
I just say they might be more comfortable with the woman taking them.
And he says, "Yeah, that's fine, but I'll tag along. What if something's out there?"
Fair enough.
And the warden looks and says, "Yeah, that's fine. We'll all go together. Does anyone else need to go to the bathroom?" And everyone kind of looks at each other and says,
I just went.
"When I saw Rick's hand cut up." All right, so she goes, "All right, I'll take these guys to the bathroom." Now it's across the lot. It's just on the other side of the doors, but I don't know. How do you want to do this?
Do you have a cell phone on you?
Yeah, I do.
You've got reception?
Yeah, she checks it, yeah.
Okay. Do you have Chris's?
She takes it. She says, "Yeah, 416, whatever your number is."
I think Justin froze there.
Oh, he's deep in thought. He's
Right.
scared.
Okay, so I give her the number. I say, well, let's just keep in contact. We'll stay on the phone together. We'll keep it on. I don't know. Is it Posey's name?
I'm trying to copy it. Close enough.
Wait, it's this way. It's nothing.
No?
Okay. No, that's pretty good.
All right, so, sorry.
Your phone. Stay on speakerphone the whole time.
Oh, there he's back.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. So she says, "Yeah, I have..."
We gotta kill Justin.
She says, "I know you got the phone." Yeah. She's like, I got your phone number." She's like, "But what do you want to do with the keys? I have the keys to this place. I can lock them, but if something should happen to me, but then again, we have to wait for you to let us back in."
Yeah, no, don't lock the place. No one's trying to escape. Just be quick.
All right, so I'll leave it open.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the four of them go down to the door. Do any of you go with?
I'll go with, just
Okay.
to take a look outside.
Sounds good. So she unlocks the door, and Randy's standing there, and he's like, "Wait a minute. If something is out there, and it's like what Rick is, do we have anything that I can whack it with?"
That's what Randy asks.
So Randy asks.
Randy, no.
You'd know better than me. I mean, do you have anything in the maintenance shed?
Maintenance sheds are far away, and he turns around the locker. He's like, "Oh wait, yeah." And then he goes into one of the lockers and he grabs like I don't know what would be in a locker.
Lead pipe.
That's pretty extreme, but sure. We'll go to lead pipe.
What about like just a broom handle?
Broom. Let's just go straight broom.
Broom.
Yeah.
Are there more brooms or just the one?
Just the one, but he breaks it. There, 2 brooms. And he hands you the one with the bristles.
Oh, thanks.
He's like, maybe this can at least whack something back, I guess, maybe to push him away.
Yeah.
The Warden goes, why'd you break that? You could have used the reach on it. Whatever. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to peek out and make sure the coast is clear. So she unlocks the door and she opens it, and she peeks out, and thunk! Nothing happens. No, she just looks out, head gone. No, she looks out, and she says it's eerily quiet outside, but it seems like it's a pretty straight path. It's right across. It's
What time of year is it?
We're going to say it's summer, July.
Summertime? No birds chirping?
It's like night. It's like
Crickets?
9 o'clock. Sure.
Cicadas?
We'll say there are chirping. Yeah, sure.
Magpies.
Okay.
So she kind of hears that and says, "All right, we'll be right back." And she kind of lets Stacy out, the daughter, Randy, and herself. And before she shuts the door, she says, "If I'm not back, I don't know, in 10 minutes, maybe come get us. Maybe just lock the door. I don't know."
Well, I'll tell you what. Are there any windows on the front of this building?
No.
No, it's just the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are windows in the cells.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking I will
Or-
wait. I'll wait here by the door, and I'll keep an eye on you guys. And then if something happens to you in transit, then we can go from there. But you're
Okay.
going to be keeping in contact with Chris too, right?
Yeah, well, if anything should go wrong, I'm going to call him. Or do you want me to just call you and keep you on the phone?
I think that maybe is the best idea.
All right. What's so funny, Chris?
Their hair.
That's what Jason said on the thing. He's like, nice hair, Harlan.
Troll doll.
And then he said, butt fixes quickly. That's right. This is my GM hair. All right, everybody, let's continue. So, she goes across the way. No, so she goes, yeah, all right.
Okay.
And
Does fix quickly. Wow, I'm mesmerized now.
I know.
Johnny Bravo.
Anyway, and she says that, and then the door kind of shuts, and seconds later you get a call on your phone, Chris.
Okay.
And and she goes, okay, and we're just walking across the yard, and she's describing you what she says. Now, are you guys both down there by the door then, or is Chris? I guess Chris is still top, right?
Still top, yep.
Okay, and she says, Justin said I should keep contact with you, and I agree. We're crossing it now. I'm unlocking the bathroom, and I think Randy's going to go in first to make sure that everything's safe. And there's moments of silence. It's because Randy's saying it's pretty safe now, so we're going in. So, silence, you hear kind of shifting, and you hear some stuff like that. And after a few seconds, you hear kind of some muffled talking, like...
As always.
Yeah. And she goes, all right, Stacy is in the stall right now, and Beatrice is out here with me, and Randy's just checking the back of the place to make sure everything is safe. And Beatrice is getting a little scared, so I'm going to take her into the stall, and I'm going to help her go to the bathroom real quick, because Stacy had to go herself, so I'm just going to put the phone down for a second, okay? And that's gone. So, some time goes by. And not long, maybe, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes. And Chris, you're waiting up, and Michael goes, were you talking to them?
Yeah. Seems like everything's fine.
Ooh, good question. What is your phone battery level right now, Chris? Hold it up to the camera. I want to know. For realsies.
I don't know if you can see that, because it's an old phone. Can you see it?
You can just tell me. I believe you.
50%?
Okay, that's fair. And, okay. Good job, Jason. Thanks for helping me. Your phone's dead. No. So, a few minutes pass. Michael asks, what do you hear on that end? What do you hear on the end? You kind of just wave him off. He's just an inquisitive guy. And suddenly, the phone picks back up, and she says, I think there's someone in here with us. She says, I can hear something. I have Beatrice in my arms. I'm coming back. And you hear a...
I take it off. I take it off speakerphone at that point.
yeah. But you hear the phone drop.
Oh,
And
shit.
you hear a... And Justin, you're just kind of looking, right?
Yep.
So they obviously entered the other set of double doors on the other side. And seconds later, that door bursts open, and in the warden's arms, Alicia's arms, is the young girl who's crying.
Okay.
And she runs in and she's like, open the door, open the door.
Okay, so I swing the door open.
Okay.
And
And
stand and hold it. Yeah.
perfect. And she's like, okay. And she puts the daughter down. She goes, I don't know, something's in there. Should we go back for Stacy and Randy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think we
I
should.
think I would run down to where Justin is, and I would pick the most trustworthy-looking person, less freaked out.
Well, so do a couple people, actually. At this point, again, you know, a few people get up. The two husbands, for sure. One of the two girls kind of come down because they got attitude. Not really. They're just like that.
Can I say maybe you guys should stay here? I'll go with you and you. And you try to you stay here. I'll do a charisma check to see if I can actually take leadership.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do. Well, they saw me throw up, so I'm gonna take take 1 for a chance and 2 negatives. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So, does that make sense with you guys?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so 1 to the left is, or my left, I guess.
Just roll the positive first and then circle it, and then you're good.
So that was the positive. So it's
Okay,
a fail and 2 negatives.
Yeah, so no, you do not succeed. It wasn't the throw up that did it. It was the... I don't know. They didn't like the fact that you weren't straight up at the beginning, I guess. I don't know. For whatever reason. Or maybe the men feel like there might not be that big of a threat right now. It's been quiet for the last 20 minutes or so. They're not too worried. But they're not illogical. And they say, who's still over there? What Michael says. Who's still over there?
Over where?
Over in the bathroom. And the warden speaks up and says Randy and Alicia. Yes. Or Randy and Stacy. Thank you. Forget my own character's names. And Michael says, all right, I'll go over. I'll go back with you, warden.
Okay. I'll go too, but there's something that I do want to check on. I think maybe you guys should go without me. I want to check on the arm. It was licking the ground earlier, which means that it's growing. I whisper that to the warden.
Okay.
To Alicia.
So So the warden looks freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of like, yeah, no, we need to go back over. Michael, you can come with me. Does anyone else want to come?
I can come if you need me to.
And Isaac, who was the doctor, who said he had hospital experience, he says, that's fine. I can keep things under wrap here for now.
Is there anything we can arm ourselves with? Justin, I say, can I take that broom handle?
Yeah, here, take it.
And I say, let's see, is there there's no fire axe or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't think
Why
so.
are there never fire axes?
Well, not only is it a prison, but it's also like a vacant prison. To keep a fire axe would probably be pretty useful.
Tourist thing, they need to have fire safety. And
The warden says, no, there's a billy club in the warden's, in the guard room.
The guard room where we were?
No, you weren't in the guard room yet.
Oh, no? Okay.
No, the guard room is like that small hexagonal shaped thing that goes on the lower floor and the upper floor. You guys were hanging out in kind of the cafeteria sitting area, I guess, whatever it is. That's directly above you right now.
Yeah,
so you haven't actually checked those, so you can check those after.
Running, grab it.
Okay, so you got a little like a billy club type thing.
Nice.
Or whatever a correctional officer would have. Probably not that, but we'll go with that. All right, so you, Michael, and Alicia cross the way.
Okay.
Very slowly. So, as you exit outside, the moist July air and the sound of the crickets fill the large empty space between the buildings. Not these buildings, but every other building. The lights are flooding the complex with a surprisingly large amount of light, which would make sense as a prison. Obviously, they want to keep in charge of everyone. As Alicia had pointed out, or Justin pointed out, it is eerily quiet. And you guys slowly kind of cross your way across the buildings. Alicia looks pretty flustered at this point, very nervous and scared. and she kind of says, "You take the lead. You have the club."
I do.
Okay.
So I'm calling out for the girl who's missing and Randy.
Okay, before you get into the building or once you're in the building?
Before we get to the building.
Okay. So you kind of take a look at the complex and you kind of glass aside and you're calling out loud and you don't hear anything and you don't see anything right now from your vantage point. And you open the door to the bathroom and you step inside, the three of you, and the door shuts behind you. So we'll go back to Justin. Justin, you are just fantastic.
Thank you. So I want to see if I can contain that arm somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that there's the locker at the front that we got the broom from.
Yeah.
And I know that in some of the cells there would be boxes from the escape it thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into the room where the kids completed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see if... Well, is the arm still in the ground, first of all?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But it is still... And Isaac is with you, too. And he's kind of like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's gross, too, because you see the puke beside it where I just thrown up
Well, here's the fucked up thing.
my pizza.
It's licking the puke.
Like dogs. Dogs do that.
The pizza with a cauliflower crust. For Jason, who was asking, that's what Chris ate. That's what's on the ground. Pizza with cauliflower crust.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually quite delicious. Going down and coming up. It was good.
I'm going to say, based on what you can find in the area, you do find something pretty convenient that you could just put right on top of the arm.
Well, can I, like, if there's, like, boxes and stuff, right, that I could put it inside the box, and there's usually locks, right? And there would be unlocked
Yes,
things.
I'm going to say yes, there definitely would be boxes. Definitely boxes that closed. And yeah, for funsies, we'll say that they lock with locks. It was just kind of funny if you had to solve another puzzle to like
I was thinking that, but then I was like, no, the kids already finished it, so they're good.
True.
And I don't think their cell is being used.
No, but it would be the one right next to it, so that would even be more convenient. Yeah. So Isaac says, "All right, let me hop up and open the cells." And so he runs up top. And are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll wait. Oh,
okay.
God.
So
Isaac.
Let's do this. Let's roll something.
Don't fuck up, Isaac.
I'm gonna say.
Wait. Hold on.
Hold on. Now we're doing this.
Before
He's rolling a
Isaac
six-sided
is
die.
Isaac,
Wait. What was 5? 5 was nothing. So cell 5 slides open. That was the one you guys.
Okay.
Oh no, the one next to it.
I say, Isaac, wait. Wait a second. I have a better idea. And I reach around the door to the kid's cell. I grab the key, and I open the door.
Oh, and he says, "Yeah." He's like, "What cell did I end up opening?"
5. And there's nobody in there.
Oh shit! They should really write these down.
They really should. They should. Yeah, for exactly this situation.
Could you imagine?
And then I run into the cell and lock myself in. Okay, yes. So I slide open the door and I grab the box and I nimbly scoop up the arm and lock it in the box.
Okay, so let's do that one at a time. Ooh, Chris's crust. That's your pizza.
Actually, cauliflower crust is delicious. If you're watching this and have not tried cauliflower crust, it's very easy. And it's a great gluten-free alternative to, well, gluten.
I'm going to be the counter and say cauliflower crust is disgusting.
It's amazing.
It's really good.
Nope. It's like the people who are like, oh yeah, you put cauliflowers in your mashed potatoes, it makes them taste better. It's like
mashed cauliflowers is nasty, and I will like.
That's literally what a crust is. It's mashed cauliflower in a crust.
That's how I discovered I had a weak stomach was mashed cauliflower.
Fair enough.
But this is amazing because you put like garlic butter, and it just oh my god.
While we're on the topic, I do have to say, Harlan, your post on Facebook the other day about the male Ghostbusters was really funny.
Thank you. That did frustrate me. I got in a big Twitter fight with someone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she was like, why did they have to do a male one? They just did a female. And I'm like, you do realize that they can both exist. It's like they don't cancel each other out. It's like one for people who like this and one for people who like this. And then a ton of people who didn't even realize the original was male.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, why are they doing an all male version? I'm like, you do realize an all male version is just a remake. It's like it's not a new thing. It's just another version of it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Being mad about Ghostbusters also having a male version is like being mad about the table next to you having steak when you ordered salad.
Yeah, isn't that a great analogy?
It is. I can see people
Thank
getting
you.
upset about it, but I thought it was very appropriate.
No, it's just funny that you mentioned that specifically because me and my brother got in a big disagreement today because he's like, yeah, I read that. He's like, that's a terrible analogy. I'm like, no, it's a great. He's like, no, a better one would be if like you like medium steak or something. I'm like, no. So Alex, if you're watching, eat it.
Speaking of all male cast, aren't we gonna have Jen join us sometime, possibly?
Oh yes, she was going to join today, but it was too last minute. She had plans, so she could not. So hopefully next time we run a zombie one, she'd be a good mix. She's very level-headed, as you guys are in this anyway, so it's not too bad. In this version, when you play yourselves, we're all pretty level-headed.
So far.
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk towards the cell 4, the infamous cell that Rick is still standing at, staring out at you. And as you approach, he goes, "Let me out." And he just says it straight at you.
No.
So looking at him, his skin, which slowly felt more and more stretched as you saw it, looks almost transparent. And underneath you see black. His eyes are kind of looking like this. He just kind of looks like this. Let me out.
It's all black around the socket.
Yeah. That's a pretty good interpretation, actually. I like that.
Okay.
It just looks like he's wearing something.
Okay, so while that's happening, while he's asking me that.
Well, so you approach. Well, I say you'll continue what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, try to get the hand.
And we will make you
in the
roll.
box. You think so?
Oh yeah, come on, man. We're not rolling for success. We're rolling to see what happens. Like maybe it moves, maybe it touches you. Let's find out. So you do have nimble, and you have a high dexterity. So you know what? Nothing might even happen. So let's do this. We're going to give you a 1 for doing it. We're going to give you a +1 for being nimble.
Okay.
And we're going to give you a negative for
it being an arm on the ground.
it being an arm. And I'm going to give you another negative for secret.
For what?
And I'm going to give you another negative for a secret something. So let's do them. So roll 2, circle them, and then roll 2 more, because I want to do this by the books.
Oh, shit.
That's bad. The best you can hope for at this point is a 5 and a 6 to cancel those out.
All right, so I got 1 negative.
Okay, so roll the plus-minus die, and I will let you know what happens.
Plus minus?
Yeah, there's a plus-minus die there. Roll that one, and then we'll do him. Okay, so you go to approach the thing on the ground, and you go to put the box on it, and for whatever reason, you kind of. I mean, I know it's a silly thing to miss it, but you do. Let's not say
it flops around like a fish.
Let's say I was going to say no, because
I wasn't making eye contact with.
Hold on, no, it does not move. You go to put it down, but what we will say is that the box that you went to do it had a crappy lid, and you went to put it down, and the lid pops off. But then Rick grabs you because he's got his other hand.
Oh no!
And it's pretty close to it.
Oh
yeah.
Oh no!
He reaches through the bars.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, that's what I was rolling you for. Plus is going to be Rick grabbing you. Minus is going to be the thing, and it's plus. So suddenly, because you didn't take into account the fact that it was right in front of him, something grabs your arm, and you look up, and Rick's inches from your face on the other side of the bars. No. And he pulls you with all of his might.
Okay, all right, I'll let you out. All right, fine. Okay, so do I have to roll?
Yeah, let's do a physical. Actually, technically, we're going to do vitality because this is like a defense. Vitality is the defensive statistic. So what we're going to do is you're going to roll a positive and a negative for vitality.
Okay, so this is my positive roll. It's a 6. That's good. And we're gonna. And a
He's being
2.
facetious. Okay. So it's not good. So first off, let's check off 2 stresses
Yes.
for last one and this one.
Okay.
Have you built up a resistance yet?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, you will. So he pulls your arm against the bars, and with a just a snap, you feel something in your arm give way a little bit, and something just feels like immediate pain shoots up your arm, and as a reactive measure, and just because this fucking thing grabbed you, you pull as hard as you can away from it. So now you rolled vitality for your defense. It failed. He pulled you against, and something was really hurting here. Now we're going to roll dexterity to pull your arm away. So let's give it another one. And we'll do another 1-1 plus nimble. So 2 positives, 1 negative.
Okay.
Okay. So we have 1 success, which is fantastic, and 1 negative. So he pulls your arm against the bar, and you hear a little snap in it. And reactionary almost, you pull with all your might. However, the grip Rick has on your arm is just immense. And
So
as
now-
you pull, you feel whatever small fracture was just in your arm give way.
Ouch.
And your arm comes towards you as if it's closing. And your
Now-
arm breaks wide open, exposing the bone towards him as you kind of curl back away from him.
Ouch. The mechanic of this game. So I technically succeeded in this, right?
You succeeded in this, yes. So
now-
you have a success, meaning you pulled away.
Yeah.
And you have a negative, meaning that you have some sort of big thing that happened, or a negative that happened to you. I'm also balancing it off because you finished your first stress. You just checked off 3 boxes. That you have a broken arm, unfortunately. Had you not failed that, you would have just had a fractured arm, and you would have pulled away without being unscathed.
So with his broken arm, in what way is he more defended in that sense? Is adrenaline?
It means that I am more resistant to them
Physical.
breaking that arm.
No, it doesn't have to be necessarily to that thing.
I think it'd be like because you're going into shock, you don't feel pain as much.
It could definitely be that. Basically, it says this: as resistance, as you accumulate stress in a category, you become more inured to the related dangers. Someone whose sanity has been tested by witnessing death over and over no longer recoils at the sight. Someone who has been betrayed by a comrade, blah, blah, blah. After a person has been jumped on his resistance. Whenever you are dealt stress from any sort, you reduce the amount of stress to receive resistance. That's the other thing. Before we get to why your resistance is, and this is an important thing, Chris. If you there, or are you just muted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's the important thing, I'll mention it really quick while we figure out that resistance, what you want to do. Once you have all 3 of those boxes filled out, you have a 1-level resistance. So regardless of what we choose to name that resistance, what it means is you can remove 1 negative die for any roll. So basically, the resistance is not a specific resistance. What it says is you now no longer have to take 1 negative die for anything.
Right.
Make sense?
Yep.
So under your resistance name, Justin, what you could call it is just broken arm, because all it's symbolic for is that you broke your arm, meaning that you are now resistant to 1 physical die. So again, for example, if Justin fell back and banged his head and rolled a negative die, that would just cancel it out, and he would not have to take anything for that.
Cool.
Okay.
I forgot about the mechanic, actually. I'm very happy we read that. So, your arm broke, and you just fall back. And you know what? We won't say the bone came out. That's a little too much. But it's snapped in it. You can feel the bone sticking out, and you just fall back, screaming in agony. And Rick just stares at you through the bars, and he says, "Let me out." So, Chris is talking, so we'll continue. So you are screaming, and Isaac comes running down the stairs, and he goes, "What's wrong? Have you been bit?"
I'm back.
I say no, I broke my arm.
So he looks down at you, and he grabs you by the scruff of your neck and starts dragging you away because you're pretty close to the hand still.
Yep. Yep.
And he kind of throws you aside, and he's kind of like, "Let me take a look at it real quick."
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I wince in pain as I'm only wearing like a t-shirt right now, anyways, because I use my other shirt to bandage.
But manly pain, right? You're like, ouch.
I'm definitely tearing up, but not emotionally.
Not emotionally. Yeah. It's just my favorite arm.
It's my left. Actually, no, it's my right arm. I keep on going to my right arm.
So, Chris.
Yeah.
You, Alicia, and Michael enter the bathroom complex. The door slams behind you with a thud. It's a relatively large building, probably close to the same size as the building you came from. However, it is much more narrow. On either side are rows of sinks, and beyond a sort of half wall with a split in the middle, you imagine lies the bathroom. And as you walk in, you hear a breathing, a heavy breathing. Too long a pause? A breathing. Sort of like that, yeah. Like
I call out, Randy?
You don't hear anything.
Where's the breathing coming from? One of the stalls?
No, it sounds like it's back towards the back of the building.
There's lights on though, right?
Yep, there are lights on.
Right.
So there's someone yawning. So Michael kind of looks at you and kind of nods, and he starts going around the other way.
Yeah.
And you go, I'm assuming, the other way. It kind of splits. There's a row of sinks in the middle as well.
Yep.
But it's relatively open, and as you kind of turn your way, you do see, while it is dark, you see the back of someone with blood on their forearms.
Say, put your hands up.
All right, let's do a social roll. put your hands up. Let's do charisma.
Hey.
Nice.
So I didn't tell you what to roll, but we'll say that is a success for one at least.
Oh no, did I cancel? Yeah, I would.
Well, hold on. Let's.
How many positives did you give me?
All right, that's what we're gonna figure out.
Don't look at it. Don't look.
I will be fair. Well, obviously, you definitely would have got one.
Not necessarily. If you said one positive and two negatives, I would have gotten.
No, what I mean is you obviously would have rolled one positive. Would you roll a second positive? I'd probably say no, you wouldn't have, because I can't think of why you would have. You don't have a gun. They don't even know you have a weapon.
You know that though.
Yeah, I don't know. Tell me why. Tell me why there'd be another positive, and we can try it. But I don't
If it's a human, and I come around the corner and say, "Put your hands up," what's the human gonna do? If I do it with authority?
Yeah, but that's what we're testing. Did you do it with authority?
No.
It's not whether the hands up. It's how you said it, and I'm gonna say you would have just said it.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't even give you more than one negative anyway, so those would have canceled each other out. So you're not gonna get a negative.
No, I would have gotten one negative.
No, because I would have only given you one and one.
This one would have. Oh, okay. So then nothing.
Exactly.
Okay, so nothing happens. What does he do?
The door to the bathroom slams.
Ah. What does this guy do though?
Well, you don't react to the bathroom door behind you slam?
Yeah, I don't know. How
okay,
far
perfect. So you keep staying forward, and the zombie bites your neck.
Fair enough.
I'm just kidding. So,
was what's her name behind me, right?
She was.
Oh, I was thinking it's her coming in.
She was already in the room.
Oh, okay. So then, does she say she's behind me? So chances are she'll deal with it.
Okay. So you look at the person, you say, "Put your hands up." They don't react. However, they slowly turn around, and you see. Tune in next week to find out. No, I'm just kidding. And you see Stacy, the mother of Beatrice, standing there with a frightened, terrified look in her eyes, blood down her forearms. And she just stares at you and says, "Help me, please." And she starts walking towards you.
I back up and say, "What happened?"
So Michael comes from the other side and kind of goes to her and grabs her and says, "What's wrong? What's wrong? Are you okay?" And he's standing right next to her and kind of rubbing her back.
Right.
Tears in her eyes.
That's fine.
A lot of crying in this game.
Yeah. It's really bringing me down.
It's the end of the world, okay? It's depression.
It's bringing me up. That's Schadenfreude.
So there's so you see what she came from, and lying in a pool of blood is the body of Randy. Head just crushed into a pulp and spread out maybe a foot in diameter, in circle, whatever, like just flattened.
What happened?
So she starts hyperventilating, and she's like, and Michael's trying to calm her down. And
Let's bring her back. Let's get her out of here.
Okay, so
Michael, help me get her out of here.
Okay, so you turn around and you start walking out, and Michael carries her, and you guys exit the bathroom.
Yep. Who slammed the door?
Well, Alicia's nowhere to be found. She is not there in the bathroom, and you walk outside and you don't see her.
Okay, we try to get her back to the prison as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you guys enter the prison and shut the door behind you.
Yep.
Now, I would say it's probably a bolt lock.
Yep.
Although that seems counterproductive for a prison. Cell riot, bolt lock the door. But I guess if they all have keys, then you're fine. So sure, we'll say bolt lock. So do you lock the door behind you?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and you bring her in, and she's hyperventilating and freaking out, and people are starting to kind of, cause a ruckus upstairs or hear from upstairs, and if people start walking down and looking, and the other wife, Kathy, or one of the wives, Kathy, kind of runs over and is like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with her? Where's?" And then one of the dudes goes, "Where's Randy, man?" James, the young kid. Where's that maintenance guy?
So give her some time. She needs to. I said something happened in the washroom. Just give her some space.
Okay, so the two wives, Kathy and Ashley, take her by the arm and kind of take her over to a quiet spot in the. I don't know, where would they take her? Probably back upstairs.
Where's Justin?
Justin is currently lying kind of on the floor across from where the Rick was in the cell.
I go over to Justin. Are you all right? What's wrong with your arm?
Well, Rick broke it.
Why did you get close to Rick?
And I point with my. I pick up my limp and I point with it at the tongue arm that's flopping on the ground.
In a box. This box
next to it, and I'm just like 2 and 2.
So you broke your arm putting a box on the arm?
Don't get near that cage. Why do I sound drunk? I'm in shock, kind of. He's strong. He's strong.
Okay. I say we lost. What is her name? Garcia.
You mean Alicia?
Yeah, Alicia.
Where are the police? We called them like an hour ago.
I don't know, and I call the police again.
Okay, so you call the police again, and you get
Do do do.
They sent everybody. There's no one there.
The call that you are trying to reach. No, the person you were trying to reach cannot be dialed. Please check the number and dial again. Whatever.
Justin, this is not going well. I don't think the police are coming. I think me and you should get out of here.
But what about everyone else?
I don't think they're going to follow us. I think they're every man for himself at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
But we need to get the keys. We're locked in here.
Oh. Yeah, but no, we're not locked in this area.
Yes, we are.
Why?
Alicia locked us in.
She locked us out?
Locked us in.
But she locked us in?
Yeah, we're locked. We can't go out through the front door is what I mean. We can try going out through this door, but there's some psychopath out there. Randy's head was smashed on the floor. Like, disgusting. Like, I probably would have puked again had I eaten more.
Was it like it was just Randy's body? You just found Randy's body smashed?
I found Randy and the girl standing above him with her arms all bloody. His face looked flattened, destroyed, crushed.
You're stressing me out, man.
You fucking high? Dude, you're marshing my buzz, man.
I don't know. I've never had my arm broken before, so I don't know how
It's
it
not like that. It's just like, God, that hurts quite a
I don't know. You're stressing me out. All right.
Probably keep talking. My arm hurts.
Can I put my arm in something? Is there like a sling? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Do you don't have your shirt? I take my button-up shirt and I tie it around his neck and make a new
This is
shirt.
the day of button-up shirts. Everyone's wearing a button-up shirt.
hey, you know what? We're going to a wedding. We're gonna dress
We
fancy.
were going out.
Tomorrow.
It was an escape and we wanted to look good.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay, so
This is where we meet
You-
girls.
you tighten up your arm or whatever. You get into a place, and Isaac kind of oversees, and he's kind of like, yeah, this looks nice. This looks really good.
But the arm
Jason
sling?
said 25 minutes my butt, meaning that yeah, they ain't coming here. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And
25
I'd agree at this point.
Exactly.
And in fact, some of the people upstairs start getting like that. Like, yo, when are the police coming? Where's Alicia?
Okay. I didn't know this, but it turns out that we have been locked in here. The only person who had the key was Alicia, and she's gone missing. So we're going to go find her, get the key, and it's time for us to get her here, because I don't think the cops are coming.
What? Says James and Jess and Bridget at the same time.
So wait.
Cha?
When you guys got back, you heard a lock, heard the door lock behind you?
When we got back, we locked that door. We can lock it from the inside. It's just a bolt lock. I'm talking about the front door. So we can go out into the courtyard, but that doesn't mean we can escape the prison itself. And as far as I'm concerned, there's a whole tour of people that it could have turned into these black spewing.
You hear a voice cut through in an echo. There's a key.
Yeah, there's a key at the front gate.
No, it's one of the people in the. Who said that?
Me.
And I assume it's one of the people in the cells.
It's Priscilla. It's coming from the first cell.
So what are you talking about?
You walk over to her?
Yeah.
So you walk over to her and you see Priscilla.
Does she look like this?
You gotta go close to the camera and you gotta say the line. I can't tell.
Does she look like this?
Nice.
And what's the line? And what's the
I don't know,
line?
what was it?
Let me out.
What was it?
Let me out.
Yeah, does she do that?
No, you gotta do it all together.
Oh, let me zoom in. I can't get close enough to my
The
camera.
people want it. You get closer to your camera. Oh, nice. Look at that. Do it now. Let me out. No, she doesn't. She looks perfectly fine.
Oh, now I feel stupid. You jerk.
She's sitting there on the cot, and she's kind of just touching her wound. She's like, "There's a key. There's a key right next to the door, on the outside. It's in a red box. I pointed it out to you guys on the tour.
It's on the outside. How are we supposed to get it from in here?
No, it's on the inside. It's on the wall facing the courtyard. It's in case of emergencies. And besides, the door's not locked. At this point, it would probably still be open.
I say Alicia locked it.
We don't
No,
know that.
no one locked the outside prison. We wouldn't do that.
All right, well, fine. Let's get out of here then.
All right, but take me with you.
How can I take you with me?
Open the fucking cell.
What with how Randy did it?
There's the switches right up top.
Have you had any of the symptoms?
No, I haven't.
She looks healthy to me, Justin. I think we should let her out.
I'm good. I'll go check on Edgar.
Okay, so you walk over to Edgar.
Okay, but as I walk by, I take a wide berth.
It's against the other wall.
He learned from his mistakes.
And is he? You know what? Yeah, no, I wouldn't do this. I was gonna spit at him.
Why would you do that?
I wouldn't do that. I mean, that's like a cinematic thing to do, but it's like
Or
a
you
thing
to Rick?
the person does in the horror movie, like before the monster
Bastard.
kills him.
Fuck you.
He's like, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
That
'cause
guy
I've
always
seen
dies
people-
first, Justin. You don't
Yeah,
want to
I
be
know.
that guy.
Well, no, I won't die first. There's other reasons why I should die first. But
Randy's the first blood anyway.
Racist.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, Rick was black.
Rick was black.
I was kidding.
Randy was black. Okay, yeah. So I give it a wide berth. Check on Edgar.
Okay, so you give it a wide berth, but it wasn't wide enough. No, I was kidding. So you walk over to Edgar, who is standing at the cell.
Yeah, the door. All right. I say, how you feeling, Edgar?
And he kind of looks at you for a long beat. What? What? Where am I?
Well, you tell me.
Oh. Oh, no, we're still... And then he gets like a sad look on his face and he says, oh, you've locked me in here. And then he sits back down on the cot.
Yeah, that's right. How have you been keeping yourself busy?
I took a nap for a little while, and I think I might do that again. And he lies down.
Okay, we'll keep you posted.
Hmm.
All right. And I go
Okay.
back to Chris, and I say, I don't know, I kind of get the impression that Edgar's okay too, but there is a long delay with him.
Okay, so meanwhile, or at that moment, Isaac kind of approaches the three of you talking. He is the, again, young medical professional-ish. Not really, just a hospital helper who walks up to you and says, hey, guys, I got to talk to you for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy, you pulled her out from the bathroom. What happened in there?
We don't know. We
What
found
did you
Randy.
see?
Randy was murdered. She was standing over him. Her hands had blood on them. I didn't know what happened. She asked for our help, so we got her out of there.
She's covered in blood, all right, but none of it's hers.
I know. I think she was trying to help Randy somehow. I don't know. She probably came across the body and didn't know what she was doing. Lost her mind. I nearly lost my mind. He's disgusting.
You think she came across a body?
We came across Randy's body. She was standing over him. Maybe she was trying to help him.
So you're telling me that she was standing over a body with blood on her hands, and you helped her and brought her back in here?
Do you think she could have done something like that?
I think anybody's capable of anything, man. That is a... Are you serious? If that was a guy, would you have thought any different? Would you not have thought, oh my god, this guy might have just killed someone?
I mean, I wasn't there, but was there anything that she could have used to smash his face in?
No, there was nothing. And Randy had a weapon.
Well, where was the weapon?
I didn't see. I was in and out of there. You want to go check? You go back out there and take a look.
Randy had a broom handle.
What I'm saying is that if...
Randy was a big guy. He could have easily defended himself against this little girl.
This is insane. You guys are insane. This person could be a killer. You have to put her somewhere else. She is covered in the man's blood, for fuck's sake.
I say you do something about that then. I'm trying to get out of here. The police aren't coming anymore. We got to get out of here.
Oh, fine. And he stands back, and he walks back upstairs, and you hear kind of like some commotion up there.
So I run and I open the gates.
Okay.
Except for Randy's. As long as it's clear, I'm not going to make like just a random switch.
You mean
Yeah.
Rick's?
Rex, yeah.
Okay, so you open 1 and 6.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I say, okay, we're leaving now. If you guys, you're on your own. I'm not going to help you anymore. And I go downstairs and I grab the key and I go to open the gate.
The key to the gate is on the outside of the gate, or like on the inside of the gate in the prison lot. You have to go to the gate to get. It's like an emergency break glass here type thing.
I go and break it. I break it and I say, I'm getting out of here.
Okay, it's like a 20-minute walk, right? Like or not, maybe not 20 minute, like a 5-minute walk across the lot.
Oh, I have to go outside.
Yeah. Well, so I'm saying what we're talking about is this is the cell block you're in with the lock, right? You can open that and get out into the open courtyard, but
Right.
the key to the main gate of the actual prison is in a box next to that said gate.
Right. But we don't need Alicia, basically.
No, that key would open the door.
Okay. So that's what I'm doing. I'm saying I'm
It's
leaving.
what Priscilla told you.
Justin, stay close to me.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So you click open the door and you throw it open,
Mhm.
and Alicia is standing before you,
Okay. How's she
and
look?
she starts walking in. She looks fine-ish. I mean, she looks the same as she did before. What I mean is she's not that attractive.
I just slammed the door behind Chris.
And she says, "I realized something. I realized that we can't leave."
What do you mean?
Maybe we can't leave.
She says, "We can't leave here. Whatever is infecting us, we cannot spread it to the outside world."
I think it's late for that. The cops aren't coming. I think it's already out there. I think we're some of the few people who are left.
Whoa, hold
Good
on,
call.
man.
Good call. I would probably call Zara or anybody else. Harlan. Anybody else. Yeah, is that what's happening? Yeah, nothing's happening here. Our phones are dead. They're not useless.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I definitely hear where you're coming from, Alicia, but that doesn't change the fact that you basically went with Chris and Mike, who trusted you, and then you slammed the door behind them without telling them at all what you were doing. What was going through your head? Like, sure, maybe we can't leave, but maybe you want to discuss that with us before you start locking us in bathrooms with bodies?
What? Yeah. No, I didn't lock the door. I just realized in that moment that I had to make sure no one could leave the prison.
Right.
Okay, well, we're leaving.
I exchanged a look with Chris.
I say, okay, yeah, we're leaving. And I push her out of the way and I say, let's go. And I start running towards the gate.
Okay. She walks in the cell block, and you hear a click lock behind it.
That's fine.
And you guys run across the open courtyard to the front gate.
Yep.
Okay.
She has the key.
And you get to the front gate, and you see that it is, of course, locked.
Yeah, the key.
And that the key is gone, and the glass is broken and it's missing.
Yeah, she's. You know what, man?
What? I think we're gonna die.
She's got all the keys.
Yeah, and now we're locked in the corner.
We're locked in the corner. You know what? There's probably another way out.
How good are you climbing with one arm?
Oh, by the way, it is a prison. Let's just climb the wall.
Well, it's
prison.
I know.
Hey,
That's how one person escaped with a ladder. With a ladder. We just need to find a ladder.
It's not over. Now, my question, like, why? Why did Alicia all of a sudden turn into the creepy?
She's crazy.
Well, you know what? That was a very long pause before she answered my question. And I'm thinking that she's gone crazy. She locked the door behind us. Yeah. That's okay. I'm sure Isaac and Mike will be fine. And all the other people, I'm sure the ladies can defend for themselves too. I'm starting to be politically correct here.
I see that.
But why her? I mean, she wasn't showing these signs before.
I don't know. Why anybody? Why did anyone show the signs? All I know is we need to get out of here.
All right. Well, you got any
Look around.
ideas?
I mean, this has been turned into a tourist attraction. There must be emergency exits. They can't keep it as a jail. So let's look for an emergency exit.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's look. And
So
you know
we're
what?
going to follow the maps around and see if we can find an exit.
Okay. So it's a large prison. I mean, we're looking at, running around the perimeter is going to get you. Oh crud! I wanted to show you the cell block from Kingston, but I didn't get to. But that's okay. Not a big deal. Actually, just in an afterthought, this is the cell block that you guys were in. Obviously.
Nice.
Now there's more prison cells here, but I just
That's pretty much exactly how I pictured it.
Well, that's good.
Scene out of like Walking Dead.
Yeah, and let me see what else I had a picture of just to give you guys a little. No, okay. So again, just to show you guys what we're looking at. I mean, this is the perimeter of the prison. To run around this whole thing, you're looking at. I don't know.
The gates were in the front, like to the right.
Yes, the gates are like here.
Oh, okay.
Right on the front. So obviously you can see based on the back. Now, this is on the brochure, this image. So this is why you're looking at it, because obviously, well, I'm going to say you probably would be checking this out first off. You'd be like, well, let's see where the thing is.
Yeah.
What you're looking at.
So, I mean, it doesn't look like there's a wall all the way around. Oh, there is a wall all the way around.
Oh, yeah, there's a wall all the way around.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. There's got to be an emergency exit. There's gotta be
Dave, well, you know what? There's the guard towers on the corners.
Ah,
If we can find a way up onto the wall, on top of it, or onto one of the towers, we might be able to scale down on the other side.
let's try
Or just
that.
jump down. I'm feeling pretty resistant now that my arm is broken. Uh,
The physical harm. I'm invincible now. That's my weakness.
I lived through this.
All right.
Okay. What's that?
The nearest guard tower.
The nearest guard tower. Okay, so you go to it. I'm not sure which one it would be. Well, let's just say the nearest one. So you go to the nearest guard tower, and it is a. How would a guard tower prison be? It would be locked. It'd be locked. 100% it'd be locked. So
Only
you go to this big steel locked door. And you go.
So there's none of these that people can go in for the tour's sake.
There might be, but we'll say it wasn't this one.
Like the next one.
Would they let you in there? Maybe, sure. Yeah, okay, sure. We'll say you jog around in the next one.
Yeah.
And we'll say it actually says, part of the Ghosts of Something tour. I don't know why it'd be on it, but sure, we'll say it will be. And you climb up or rather, you open the door and you look in and you see like a spiraling staircase up, or whatever a staircase would look like. We'll say spiraling. So you just head up?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So you head up and there is a wall. And when you get there, there's obviously like a outpost to look down into the courtyard that you can see, and a large light, it's like a spotlight, I guess, that's mounted there. And it would carry the path on top of the wall. So you could go out to where you guys are roughly looking for.
No. Apparently there's a maintenance shed here. We might be able to get some rope from there, drop ourselves down.
Yeah, well, how high up is the wall?
Very high. If you fell, you would die. It would definitely. Put it this way:
we can
you
look
might
it
not
up.
die, but you break both your legs, and if
Like-
there was anything out there, you would be dead.
3 stories? 2 stories?
Sure. However long. Google prison walls. How high are prison walls? I mean, they got to be high for a reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, escapes. On September 10th, 1923, inmate Norman Red Ryan planned and carried out an escape with a number of fellow inmates. After setting fire to a shed as a distraction, the gang used a ladder and went over the wall.
So it could have only been like a 20-foot ladder.
Yeah, it couldn't have been that long.
Well, they might have also had something to lower them on the other side.
Well, they probably would
That
have.
escape is written in the.
I imagine they would have pulled the ladder up with them, put it on the other side, and went down the ladder.
Possibly, but that escape was also in 1923,
Oh yeah, they might.
so they probably had preventative measures from that happening again.
And this
Hey, a
picture-
guy escaped with a ladder. The height is fine.
The picture we're looking at too, though, is also from 1919.
Yeah, so we're going to say, I'm going to rule this. It's a prison. You can't scale the walls. It's going to be tapped, unless you have a rope. But I will say that logically, the odds of you having a rope in a work shed in a prison is going to be pretty slim. I mean, maybe if you find it, but seems pretty unlikely.
Maybe there's a fire hose somewhere.
And it
More
looks like
likely?
there's barbed wire also. Razor
Yeah.
wire all the way around.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
it's-
thinking.
Well, that's going to be a toughie.
Okay, well, what do you think, Chris? That was my idea.
So as you guys have stopped, you start kissing, just really passionately looking into it. No, you
Found
stop
that
and you're
happened.
listening, and you're hearing the sounds of the city a little more. Some explosions off in the background and things of this nature.
You know, in a weird way, it's kind of pretty. These
You met me at a weird time in my life, Chris. Stop. Aight?
Okay. Well, what are our options? What
Um,
other buildings are there? We can
There's
go there.
lots of other buildings. There are literally tons. Not literally. There's lots.
Is there a building, like an entrance building? We can't go out that way, right?
There isn't, like, put it this way. Looking at the maps, there would be like a delivery entrance. I mean, they would have to have laundry on and off. You do know that that would be probably just as secure as the entrance, but...
It's a gate, and you know what? There might, if it is an entrance for trucks and stuff to come in, there might be a mechanical lift.
Yes, a cherry picker.
Yeah, or like a mechanical. It'll be like electric, like the gate opening. You just have to press a button, sort of thing.
Let's go try it. Let's go take a look.
Do you know what I'm saying, Harlan?
No, what do you mean?
So you know how the cell block, the door is opened by Randy pressing a button?
Yeah, it's like a switch. It's like a...
Yeah. If there were trucks coming in the modern age, I doubt that you would just have you'd probably have like a locked control room that inside the control room you could electronically open the gate for any...
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. But I still think that would be under key, you know.
Yeah, probably.
But yes,
Maybe
I thought you were saying
also-
like a cherry picker or something.
Oh, no.
We need to do all the tree trimming.
Trim the hedges.
Okay,
Just the
so you
walls.
guys continue along the walls of the prison, and you start hearing things. Movement in some of the buildings. Odd, sporadic movement every once in a while.
Like shuffling, or...
Yeah, kind of like slapping of walls and things like that. So, as you round the corner of one of the buildings, you see something stand there, the silhouette of which is backlit. And it kind of just stands there with its hands out, and it starts walking towards you. It says, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, we're looking for an exit.
And it keeps walking towards you, and it says, "Can I help you?"
We answered you already. We are looking for an exit.
And it comes within maybe 10, 9, 8 feet of you as it keeps coming at you.
All right, I don't know if we should
Can I help you?
continue this conversation.
Does he look like crap?
So as he comes into the light that you are, yeah, you see, "Can I help you?"
All right,
And he comes lunging at one of you.
we'll try to hit him with the club.
Try to knock him off. Try to knock him off.
Did you bring the club with you?
Yes, definitely. Why would I leave it?
So you go and hit him with the club, so roll physical.
So I'm going to add 1 because I have a club.
You will add 1 because you have a club. Yes, that was my call, Chris.
So what is that? Is that
Let's do 1 because of the hit, we're going to do 1 because of the club, and we're going to do a negative because it's a zombie.
Oh, success and 2 fail, success. Or
Yeah,
negative.
success, not counting, and a negative. So, we're going to say you pretty cleanly pop him. Where do you want to hit him?
Right in the face. Right in the side of the jaw.
Excellent. So you smack the side of the jaw, and in a clean swipe, the jaw comes off, and the black blood just splashes around and lands on some of your clothes. And the thing kind of just goes down as these long tendril-type things drip from it like sticky blood. And he kind of goes, "Oh," and then he goes to attack you again.
Is he on the ground? Is he like prone?
Nope. You just knocked off his jaw.
All right. Well, I will try to crack him again in the head.
Perfect. Justin, what are you going to do?
It's kind of cramped. I'm gonna.
You're a pretty wide open space.
Oh really? I thought we were still on a wall.
Well, along a wall, but you're like next to a... Oh, you were going on top of the walls?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that would only take you so far, and then you'd find that you'd have to get down and then unlock a door to get somewhere.
Okay, so we'll.
I don't think you'd be able to walk the entire perimeter on top. That would make too much sense.
Okay, so then I guess we did the along the walls.
Yeah, my thinking is that you guys like would climb down, and then you would like just run along the walls until you found the exit again.
Okay. So I'm going to go around then.
Mm-hmm.
Around this guy, and I'm going to crouch down behind the dude.
Classic crouch and push. All right. So you crouch. And Chris, you're going to attack him again?
Yeah, so I failed last time. Nothing happened, though.
You failed, yes, because you had a success and a failure, right? Or did you roll again?
Yeah, that's my second roll.
Okay.
So it was my success canceled out with my failure.
Hold on, I didn't tell you how many dice to roll. I was going to give you one for the hit, one for the club, and one for Justin helping you.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was going to give you a negative against the zombie.
So 3 and 1.
Yes. So
So I
that
have
would be 2 successes and a negative. So I will say that with Justin crouching behind, it gives you a nice.
Successes cancel out. Don't these two cancel each other out?
No, you only cancel out from your positive and your negative die pool.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you always get your nice positives. So him giving you a good vantage point, you crack him again over the head, and again your club kind of just eats through it, but it does throw it off balance and it falls back. And when it falls back, you can see that the skin is soft and like squishy because it almost crushes under the weight of it. And immediately the ground is just splashed with this black, disgusting blood, which almost seems like it's moving in the moonlight.
Is there keys on this guy?
You can check him for some cheese. I don't know why you'd want to, but.
Cheese.
Yeah, it smells kinda like blue.
He seems like a security guard.
Yeah, I never said that. But let's roll. Let's say roll a plus and minus. Plus you find keys, negative you don't. Because I'm a fair and just God.
Ah,
That's blank.
infamous blank.
Is that actually blank?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know. Roll again.
Again.
What? Keep pressing until something shows up.
Lots.
Plus.
Find keys.
What did I say? Oh yeah, I said plus does not have keys. So no,
you
you don't.
didn't. You said
Goodbye.
plus had keys.
Just kidding.
Wait, hold on, maybe. Oh no, mine has minus. I can see mine.
Nah, it doesn't matter. Oh, you thought maybe that was minus? That'd be funny.
Yeah.
There are blank ones.
It must be like just fudge dice or whatever. Anyway, so, but I didn't say what the keys go to. No, let's say that as you see him in the moonlight, his jumper does say maintenance, and you check him, and you find a whole ring of keys.
Take them.
Nah, I think Justin wants to leave him.
I want to leave him.
Right? Don't you? Kind of. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so
I
figured you'd be like,
I do want to leave him.
Yeah, it's like,
This is,
Easily persuaded.
maybe I should have kept. Yeah, maybe I should have kept that.
Yeah, I do.
so,
Yeah.
so you guys continue scaling along, or not scaling, but running along the wall, getting faster and faster as the night air feels thicker and thicker with the July heat. You start hearing sounds throughout the complex, moans and burst screams of blood-curdling cries, as you can kind of hear the prison filling with just absolute terror. And eventually, you come to a small building and a large gate next to it, which you would perceive to be the maintenance, or not the maintenance, sorry, the unloading and loading dock or something like that. But it's a building that goes into that. And the door faces closest to the compound, surprisingly close to actually where you originally left. And it's been probably, I mean, you guys ran to the front door, then you ran to the thing, then you ran the perimeter, you went up, you went down. It's probably been close to half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, depending on how long you guys took to take your breath and take in the sights. And as you approach the building that harbors the gate, and what you would assume is the pathway in and out lies within the building, you hear a familiar sound. It's a whimpering that you've heard a few times so far. It was the whimpering you heard when the lights were shut off in the cell block, and it was the whimpering you heard when every scary thing happened in that. And from the other side of the buildings, you hear the whimpering of the 10-year-old girl.
How did she get out? she's not in the main cell block area, right?
Doesn't sound like it.
So we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, but she's just a little girl. And she's on her own. She's whimpering.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll see if we can help her. But if it's not,
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious that they're goop monsters, so we can pretty much tell.
yeah. But if it's, if she's in some building and we can't get in there, we're leaving.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so you kind of diverge a little bit from your path and run into the buildings that are a little across from the building that would house the exit gate power. And you see, standing between the two buildings, the young girl, maybe 10, and she's crying and slowly walking towards you, and she's saying, "Help! Help!"
And I say to her, "Are you okay? How did you get out?"
And she says, "Mom tried to hurt me, and I unlocked the door." And as she comes into the light, you see that she has like a not on her face, but on her arms, like a flaky skin.
Oh, we can see that from here?
You can. She walks into the light.
Okay.
Well, is it her own skin on her, or is it her mom's skin?
Is it her own skin or her mom's?
Like it looks like the same thing. It's her skin looks flaky.
It looks like her own skin.
Okay, not like something weird happened and I don't know. Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. Come with us. We'll get you to safety.
Okay.
What do you mean, come with us?
So she walks towards you with open arms.
Oh, you don't need to open your arms. No, I'm not giving you a hug. I've got a broken arm.
Okay. She walks towards Chris with open arms.
I said, oh, it's.
Nah, I don't know if we want you
I
to.
said, follow
You're
us.
too huggy.
I turned her back. What's that, Justin?
I said she's too huggy.
Let's leave her.
So what are you doing?
I say, follow us. We're getting out of here.
Do I need to remind you guys that you are Chris and Justin? You are not.
We're not gonna hug her, but we're not.
No, I'm not saying you have to hug her. I'm just saying,
Yeah, at the same
Sometimes
time, I'm seeing her, like, she's a zombie, basically, to me, almost.
Okay.
So I'm going to be like, follow us, we'll get you out of here.
You can roll anything against her if you want.
Like, do I think she's turning?
I don't know. Sure. Roll to justify it to me, and I'll let you do it.
I want to know if I want to know if I think she's turning. It was an accident.
I will tell you how many to roll, and then you roll them.
Do I think that she's acting human, or is she about to lose it?
What do you want to roll for that?
I want to know, I don't know, wisdom? Is that a thing? Not wisdom.
Logic?
No. Logic? Logic?
Yeah. Okay,
Logic
logic.
makes sense to help this girl. Or does it feel like,
Does it make sense to help this girl is what you're asking.
is it logically, does it make sense to help her, or does she seem like a bigger risk?
Well, I can answer that without you rolling. It's always going to seem like a bigger risk to take on some kid. Yeah.
Seem like she's going to turn.
Okay, so logically you're asking if the symptoms she's showing are consistent with those you've seen of those who have turned so far.
Yeah.
And list those who have turned so far.
Rick?
Yes?
Rick had the flaking of the skin, but he also had the sallow face, and he had the delayed response. This girl doesn't have the delayed response, but she's got the flaky skin.
But again, the delayed response has nothing to do with it.
Maybe not.
And the skin could have nothing to do with it.
Maybe not.
But the flaky skin was something that happened after, where he was stuttering and having the delayed response right from the beginning. So that has to be a symptom. So is her flaky skin the same as Rick's?
Is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll logic on that.
What am I rolling?
All right. Thank you. So roll 1 for the question, I guess. Roll 1 for the countermeasure that you're getting, and roll a negative for just difficulty. And by countermeasure, I mean comparison. Sorry. I mean, you have a comparison to compare it to, so. No, fail, and a negative. You cannot tell, and she sticks her hand out to you. Crying.
All right, I grab her hand to tell her to come with me.
You idiot. Okay, so you grab her hand and you lead her towards the building, and you hear some shuffling coming from either side. So she, hurry for the keys.
And I look to see what the shuffling's all about.
And there are 2 zombies on either side of you. That's 4 total. They're coming at you.
Do I recognize any of them?
No. So, that's a lot of keys on that. Let's roll a 20-sided die. Chris.
And what am I trying to hit?
You don't want to know.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Just roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so you try key 15 on the rack. No, roll again. They get a little closer. Again, doesn't fit. A little closer.
Now this...
Oh, just a little closer. It clicks. And the door opens in front of you to an empty room, dark.
Okay, let's go into that room and close the door behind us.
All right, slam. Little girl's behind you. You lock the door with a thing. You feel a hand on your backside, and you spin around to see the little girl smiling at you.
Okay, I push her back a little bit. I said, okay, give me space. Leave me alone.
And she goes, "You just saved us," and then she starts crying again.
I know, just give me some space.
So you start hearing a banging on the outside door.
Okay, where are we?
You're in a small room that has what you can see is kind of seats, a locker or two, a small table that probably had coffee on it at one point, and a lunch table. And you do see a control panel that would have a button that looks like it would open the outside gate.
Okay, I say you check the panel, I'll check the lockers.
Sounds good.
All right, so Chris, you checked through the lockers and you see some old guard uniforms and things like that. And Justin, as you're checking over the control panel, you see a clear what?
I said the opposite, but it's funny because it's like, you do this, I'll do that, and then we both did the opposite.
Well, you guys look so alike. I don't know. Fine. So Chris is like, fuck, you clearly can't search this, so I'll search it for you. And then he goes to the control panel after. So it's fine, I'll check both. So he checks the control panel, and there's this clear plastic case with 2 large buttons in it, a red one and a green one, and it has a key lock on it.
I press the green one after
You
putting
need to use the key to open the thing, but it doesn't matter because it's broken. So it's open. Just kidding. You press the green one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you press the green one and you hear a loud and very slowly the gate on the other side of the bay window that you're looking out of starts opening. Now, there's another door that opens closer to the gate, meaning that you don't have to go back through the door you just came through that is surrounded by zombies.
Yeah, I'd say let's take this door.
That makes sense.
The girl's like, maybe we want to go this way. So the 3 of you kick open the door. Did you check outside for little zombies? Maybe check the corner a little bit?
No, we're just going to run it.
You're good, but as you're running to the door, you do see that there are a lot of zombies closing in from behind you. It's close enough to duck under right now if you needed to.
Yeah, dive roll.
Perfect. You dive, roll, get up, dust yourself off. The kid, what? Slide her under?
I grab her after. Slam her head off the thing, pull her under.
Okay, so you help the little girl through in a nice way, hopefully. And Justin, with your broken arm, you get in just on the cusp of the well, no, not the cusp because they're still behind you and the gate's still open. So, as you open it about yay high, it stops. Pourquoi? You ask.
The gate stops?
Yeah, stops about yay high. And you turn around to see a yellow, one of these guys, arm, I guess, and another box that is kind of there, and a man standing inside, his hand over the button, and he looks at you with a shocked expression.
And I say, stay here.
And
close it.
And he walks out from behind the box, and he goes, "What the fuck are you guys doing in there?"
Let us out quickly.
You're already on the outside. You're now kind of on the outside world, past the prison. You're outside the prison.
So we're escaping it. We've come from escape it. I think we won.
And he turns around and he goes, "What the fuck?" And a large group of people, maybe 25 or 30 people, kids, babies, or whatever, wife, all dressed, some of them holding guns and things like that, are like, "What are you saying? Is the prison not safe?"
No. No.
And behind them, on the cusp of a hill, you see hundreds of thousands of zombies shambling down towards the prison.
Probably safer.
And they stop there and they say, "The prison's not safe." And people start murmuring to the crowd and freaking out.
It's safer. It's safer. You guys have guns.
We can clear the prison.
So you go back in?
I guess so.
We'll let the gun people lead.
Go over to the nearest gun and just grab
So
one.
the man looks at you, and he looks at the zombie horde behind him, and he looks in the thing. He goes, "Fuck."
That's just really the end.
That's it. That's where it ends.
Well, fuck.
That's what. No, and then you look as the zombies close in on you, and you find that there is no turn. A song plays, and you hold hands as the buildings blow up behind you. That's the ending of Fight Club.
I've always loved you.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
So, yeah, you guys are standing outside the prison. As a final act of heroism, where do you do? What's your last action?
Well, okay, so they're trying to get into the prison?
They were trying to get into the prison, yeah.
I go and grab the gun from
Yeah.
the nearest person. I'll say, I'll clear it out. I roll back in and just start shooting.
Realism. All right, and that's it.
All right, yeah, I just stand there like.
Dustin, who is left?
All right, that was the end of the game. Relatively uneventful ending. Kind of probably died there, but you know what? Maybe they didn't. Maybe there'll be a conclusion. Maybe the prison will be built up, and they'll have worked with these people in a better way than they already had. Okay, any questions? Anything you guys wanted to know? Any twists and turns you were looking for the answers for?
Lots of questions, not so many answers.
Yeah, I thought you were just going to kill us off. I thought one of the rooms we were going to go into, it was just going to be a bunch of zombies and just going to pull us in, eat us.
Yeah, but that's too easy. I want you guys to have a chance. You had a chance to get out of this.
That girl.
Well,
Why were her arms so flaky?
Eczema. I have it written down too. Had you looked at her earlier, or done anything to her other than just try to calm her for 2 minutes, you would have noticed immediately that she had eczema.
Oh, I wish I had hugged her.
Virtual high five, Chris. We did the right thing.
You did at the last minute. I'm surprised. I totally thought you guys would be like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, well, that's what I did last game. I felt kind of guilty about that.
I know, you guys fucked that chick over. Any other questions? I have all the stuff with everybody if you need to know anything about anybody.
Okay, so yes, obviously Rick was the
Correct.
first dude.
Yeah.
He wasn't really an issue except for me and Priscilla.
Jason said, "Did they make it to the wedding?" No.
Hangover.
The end of the world. They did not make it to the wedding, unfortunately. The world was taken over. However, maybe they ended up keeping the prison. Maybe there will be a sequel. Sorry, Justin, what were your questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, Rick was one. What about Edgar?
No, dementia.
Dementia, I thought so.
Who killed Rick?
Who killed Rick?
Yeah, who killed Randy?
Oh, fucking she did, man. She was crazy. There was, and I'll tell you right now, in order of people turned, it was this. Rick turns first, Ashley turns second, Alicia turns third. In that order.
But Ashley
had you looked at, she was the mom. Sorry, Stacy, not Ashley. Sorry, Stacy,
Oh,
the
okay.
one who was. Had you looked at her, because you like got her, but you didn't even like look at her. The minute you looked at her and been like, "Yo, I check her to see if she's fine," you would have seen like hollow skin and stuff. She basically crushed the guy's skull and started eating it, and then you walked in, you're like, "Yo, she's fine." I even threw in Isaac to be like, maybe he'll like logic them out and be like, maybe if they're creatures, it doesn't matter whether they're boys or girls. And Chris, you're like, nah, she don't do it. She's a woman.
And Alicia,
That's
was
so
Alicia
funny.
crazy or just?
And then Alicia, she always had the motivation to lock down the prison to make sure it was safe, because logically, and I thought you guys would click into this, but you didn't. That's why it ended the way it did. That the prison would be the safest place. Start locking it down. I had a cafeteria. I had like all these things to use it as like a place of clearing out what's bad and then working from there. But you guys are like, we got to get out. That's why I ended it with people trying to get in.
But and that's funny. That's good. But the thing that threw me was, why did she close the door behind Chris?
Alicia?
Yeah.
She was the third one to change. She already started getting crazy. And basically, the scenario is called Under Their Skin. And I'll tell anyone who's watching. The scenario dictates that the zombies are a creature that was released from, like, underground. And what they do is they're almost an imperceptible bug that crawls into you. It starts out with memory loss. Basically, it shows early signs of dementia and amnesia, things like that. Where was I? Things like that. Then basically it starts eating you from the inside out in a very short amount of time. At that point, you crave brains and stuff like that. But we didn't even get to that point. Any limbs I could cut off, it's like tissue paper. They fall off and they end up like amalgamating into some giant monster of like black sludge, which again, I figured the more you killed would be done, but it didn't happen. Alicia's motivation was to always protect the prison and the people within it, because she thinks that it's like, and technically she is right, because she didn't want it to spread. Unfortunately, it was worldwide. So her logic was to, lock down this area and then lock down the prison, flush it out. But what happened was, by the time she got to the second point of locking down the prison, basically in her mind, she got there, locked it down, took the keys, and was like, starting to crave brains and shit. She started getting the glassy skin, basically crazy then. And had you stayed in that room for any longer, she would have started attacking you. Basically, all the people you left in the cell block, the majority of them are dead.
Yeah.
You basically left 2 killers in like a pig pen.
Yeah.
Let the fox into the hen house. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, we survived.
Ish. I thought you guys. Well, see, here's the thing. A game like this, and this gives you maybe a little insight for next time. I wanted to run a game that played more into the skill sets that these have: physical, mental, and social. When you look at the games we played before, they're very typically physical. And they have a very little social component. So I wanted to build a dynamic with backstories for each of these people to give you guys things to play off of. Who did what? So yeah, there were red herrings. I mean, there were things like, again, dementia. I mean, it's very unlikely. But the fact that I wanted you guys to analyze and really think it through with the social, the empathetic, the willpower, logic, all that kind of stuff.
I found that the moment that the game really took flight was when you asked us, or you told us, or suggested that we ask their names.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to, and I was trying to build this like, okay, well, maybe if you care about them, you'll like care more. But it didn't work as well as I wanted to.
No, for sure. But once that came in, I was like, oh yeah, of course. Like if I was thinking about this as a real situation, that would be
that's
the first thing.
Because it's Justin and Chris. I think personally, I don't think you guys did it wrong or bad. But I think you guys would have been way more like going to Edgar and talking to him and spending time being like, hey, like, what's going on? What is wrong? Is something wrong with you? Because had you asked him and been like, are you okay? Like, have you been to the doctor? He would have full been like, yeah, I've been diagnosed with amnesia and it's eating me. Like a lot of the answers, which seemed like red herrings, had straightforward answers.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't want to make it hard at all. Like I wanted to make it very straightforward. The only thing was, and again, this one was a bit of a red herring, but I thought it was really a cool dynamic, is that I wanted Randy to seem extra creepy towards you guys, so that you would kind of side with her when he ended up being dead. And it did work, but it worked too well, where you guys didn't even like suspect her. I figured you'd be like,
there you go. Yeah.
Who killed her then? Any other questions?
Not
No,
for
that's
me.
good. Thank you very much, Harlan.
Yeah, no problem.
And
Thank you for playing.
thank you, Jason Randall,
Yeah.
for all of your suggestions.
Yes, thank you, Jason. And thank you, Reddit, as well. I posted again on Reddit, as I did last time, for some cool suggestions about some ideas. Some of them I didn't get to, but that's not a bad thing at all. It just means that we were, keeping it real. And who else do I need to thank? Thank you to, yes, everyone on Reddit, as well as you guys for playing. Thank you very much. And next week, we are back with Dragon Age, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Game 6.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, everything goes well. Game 6 of our campaign. So tune in. And, of course, please tweet us along with the game. You can chat with us on the YouTube video. We're always checking that out. And on any sort of our social media stuff. If you like us, please subscribe. If you don't like us, then go fuck yourself.
One thing actually with the Dragon Age game is that if you do want to lend your support or give suggestions or follow along with the game, I'm giving experience to Chris, Harlan, and Mike, but we're also creating an experience system for you guys, the audience, people watching, so that eventually, if you've got a certain amount of experience, you can spend it on something cool in game. And we haven't
5,000 tickets gets you a free stuffed teddy bear.
It's like the Chuck E. Cheese of role-playing games.
Right.
But not actually. It's not too overpowered. Don't think you're going to be able to kill a character or anything like that.
Yeah, no, nothing like that.
Or maybe, who knows?
But you might be able to control an action that the character has to perform willpower against or something like that.
Or choosing what stunt points they get to use or something like that.
Yeah, and if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to spend experience on, tweet them to us, or you can post them on our Reddit or on our YouTube or Google Plus, you name it.
Or send us an email.
Ideas. Or an email, yeah.
The Invictus Stream.
We'll try to incorporate that into the list.
Yes. Right. And again, thank you one more time, everybody, for watching. This was the End of the World Zombie Apocalypse role-playing game. Please join us next week, and thank you so much for coming along. Goodbye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good night.